primary stunning hero, it's not really going to go very well for them.
Well, let's have a look here. Castaway, they're busy forced off for Castaway, and Castaway has actually gone for that Eye of Scotty, that I did mention up earlier, just to, be able to survive long in the fights. I mean, he's sitting at 2,200 HP with a Flame Guard up. I mean, it's nearly impossible to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, looks like Dreamy is going to become toasty, and that's the end of that.
He does not have buyback either. 100 needed for buyback.
Yeah, and I mean, Carbon are probably going to lose at least to tier 3, probably one of the racks as well. They don't have any of their stunning heroes available at all now. But
the hookshot's right in there, but unfortunately, he does force off himself away, so this is going to be Scat that actually drops as well. He did use everything. And Doms! Oh, Doms actually not getting a reverse polarity. He mischief queued, but I don't even think it's needed. Unfortunately, Castaway does fall. Chosen One, he is trying to come in, trying to do as much as possible. He does have his... They actually might decide to go onto Castaway. No, Castaway uses his BKB right now. Are they going to be able to get anything? There's no searing change. Oh, there's a searing change straight onto Lacquer. They still want to get this tower. And there is Smacker going straight onto Castaway. Castaway does have a remnant if he wants to get out. LKR is trying to stun up Castaway. Castaway, are they going to be able to kill him? He actually does get purged off. But there you go. That is the shallow grave and just trying to do more. I think though Castaway will be dropping from this one. And what? Actually, Castaway is still alive! Castaway is still alive! Unfortunately, there he does drop, and the PL does manage to get out of that one. So that is a gem down as well for the side of WRG. 3 heroes down.
Yeah, brilliant team fight there from Carbon, and I think a bit of a misplay there by WRG at times. They could have just focused the melee barracks. They got a little bit too interested in trying to kill off the PL and the Lina. And I mean, I think the melee barracks was at about 20 HP at a point, and now it's going to be healing up to full before they even get to look at it again. And another big win in the end there for Carbon. They only lose the tier 3, and that is pretty massive, I think, overall there for them.
Definitely, especially that fight probably would have gone completely different, but Doms whiffed his RP completely. He RP'd, then he blinked. Yeah, I mean, we've all done that before in our lives. We all have.
Yeah, like, I don't even think he needed to RP at that point. If you looked at the fight, they actually got a very good shackle out of the Wind Ranger there. She'd actually trapped, I think it was the Lina and the Clockwork she'd shackled together. The Lina died, the Clockwork got away, but I mean, do you really need the RP at that point? It seemed like a little bit of overkill that he decided to jump in there, and that I think is probably the worst RP I've seen him hit all game. And
well, he didn't hit a RP.
Yeah,
but I mean, running in RP.
It's his worst RP of the entire game, and somehow it wasn't even necessary for him to use it. So it was like a bit disappointing more than anything else. Like, why? I don't understand why you needed to do that at that point. Just save it.
Yeah, well. Chosen One busy farming up a nice big ancient stack. What is he going for? It seems like he's also going for a Scotty right now, just to buff up his stats a little bit, and Winter Wyvern actually dropping. They did scout out the Winter Wyvern moving through here. Just, basically doing the standard checks, running in through here, and getting that easy pick off. Now, Rosh is up in 2 minutes, so it's still going to be a while up.
Yeah,
I think this is like...
Max Rosh.
This is like Max, yeah. I think this is very lucky for Carbon.
Yeah, I think it is very lucky there for Carbon. They would not have enjoyed having to fight an Ember Spirit with the Aegis up right now. Talking about Ember Spirit though, he's actually... I mean, I was going to say it during that fight, but half the reason that WRG ended up losing that fight is that Ember's gone with a very defensive type of build. He had essentially, it's called a double battle fury with the empower, but he has no real damage. Eye of Scotty provides a little bit, Blacking Bar provides a tiny little bit. I mean, the crit now coming out, I would have loved to see this maybe the third item after the BKB, and then you have maybe the Scotty, since the Scotty made him tankier, but it didn't really help the damage, which is what he really needed to be doing.
Ooh, hold on that thought, dude. Magnus nearly has Refresher.
Pardon? Refresher.
Magnus
yeah,
nearly has Refresher. He has a Perseverance in his stash. He has one in his inventory. He has a Buckler recipe as well.
Not his.
In his inventory.
Snoob's. It's
Tom's.
S's. Yeah, but check, if you go over the recipe, it doesn't belong to him.
No. That's a buckler recipe. That's what I'm saying. He nearly has his refresher because he has 2 perseverances. One in stash, in the courier. Look in the courier.
Yeah. Oh, does he have one in the courier? I know he's got.
He has.
Oh, he's got one in the courier. So he's pretty close. I was just like, I'm confused as to why if I click on Dom's, there's the stash is a buckler recipe that doesn't belong to him. You can't put things like that into your stash.
Yeah, well, he does have 2 perseverances up, one on the courier, just waiting for the recipe, which is 1,800, I think. So he'll have it in the next 500 gold.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the mana
refresher's
for it,
gonna
though.
be
That's
a
the only
lot.
problem. As the melee barracks is going to get targeted, I don't think it's going to be going down yet.
You always have mana with arcane boots. If you start off, you use it, you refresh. Oh, hook shot actually misses, and the shackle shot does latch onto the clockwork. Clockwork's going to be a big trouble here, but he does actually the crits. It's just no further support coming in there for the clockwork. Clockwork was just left hung out to dry. He does have buyback, however, if they want to use it. Top is busy pushing out. Doms is not there, so we might just see a straight. Yeah, there's the smoke. They actually want to wrap around. Are they going to be able to get this pick here onto Castaway? Castaway, he's actually cursed up right now. They're going to throw everything onto Castaway. He's down. Castaway's down. He does have buyback, however. Oh, 6 surplus. So close. But the problem is Ross just respawned. Such bad timing and unlucky for WRG.
Yeah, and WRG, they're not even going to attempt to contest this. They don't really have any of their heavy hitters coming out, so it does look a bit rough at the moment for the side of White Rabbits, as Carbon will grab themselves Roshan right after losing their bot lane racks, and I mean this is exactly the kind of thing they needed. They get a big pick off onto probably the most damage intensive hero right now for WRG as a whole, and they'll grab themselves a little bit of protection from him as well.
Pity, there's a Blake dagger up, there's a refresher up here on the Magnus right now. Let's quickly do the maths. Magnus RP is 300, refresher is 375. So if you RP
975, he's got about 200 mana left. He can get off you can get off a charge.
Okay, but if you RP then mana boots, then refresher, then mana boots again, you'll have over enough. In a very specific set of circumstances.
He's got enough even without the mana boots. It's just like he's got to be extremely careful with, you know, he's got to make certain that he has enough mana going into the fight. Because if you jump in there with say 800 mana, you're in a rather large set of problems. You're going to have to do a hell of a lot of work very quickly.
We saw that with Smacker not having enough mana early on during this game, where he actually couldn't get the Laguna Blade off for that easy kill.
Yeah.
And having a look at the net worth graph here, I mean, it's on a downward spiral again. From 10k, it's now to around 4k again. This game is just going backwards and forwards, but there is a big advantage with both the racks down on the side of Carbon. But it's also at around 50 minutes in, so the standard, super melee creeps or super range creeps don't really pose that big of a threat to, well, anyone from the side of Carbon except for perhaps the Disruptor.
Yeah, the thing is it's also, well, never mind, as Chosen One's going to get caught out in the middle. They will blow a reverse polarity for that. The Aegis will pop and he's probably going to die here again. He's going to use the Doppelganger, try and get himself to safety, but there's just so much damage. Chosen One
and now,
eats another
why would Carbon leave the PL that they have the Aegis? Why would they just leave him alone?
Why is he out there by himself? I think is more to the point. I mean, if I was Scant, I would be screaming at him right now. Like, what were you doing there? Like, really, what were you doing there? I mean, there's no way they're not going to gank you if you're sitting there.
He doesn't have buyback. This might just be game. He does not have buyback up. And now they're going straight onto, well, there's the Clockwork hookshot going straight onto Windrunner. Windrunner is actually caught out right now, and that's an instant kill. But now they try and go onto Smacker. Unfortunately, Smacker got forced off the way, but I think he's still going to die. The Yule Scepter is there. They're actually going to try and contend up. There's one more hit needed. No, he turns around. Actually does manage to sheep up Ember Spirit, and there's multiple buybacks coming through now from Dreamy as well. Dreamy does blink forward, trying to go in, and the glimpse is used onto Castaway. Will they be able to actually do enough damage? No, he gets forced off out, and as well, Shallow Grave. Now they're just backing out. That was now 2, I think, buybacks used. They still haven't got this tower, but they're actually trying to defend like this for 35 more seconds.
Yeah, Wind Ranger's here though, so Chidawi is going to start working on the tower, and now watch the tower melt though. There we go, look at it. It's just easy damage there for the side of WRG. And again, I mean, you said it, Phantom Lance, no buyback. They can't really contest this in any real meaningful way. Smacker can throw out a bit of chip damage, but other than that, there's not a whole lot that they can do to slow them down.
Yeah, Alcar just gets critted straight off, and I think this might just be good game. I mean, with that Aegis, you would have expected them to push down together mid, to try and take a fight together, because you have the Aegis advantage. I mean, it's standard objective gaming. Not let's go back and farm, it's try and get an objective after Raj. You've just taken a big team fight, you've nearly evened out the score, and then you have, with absolutely no vision as well. That's the whole point. There's no vision up on this area, and you're farming there as a PL.
Yeah.
Very well played. WRG just saw that instant reacted. They were like, well, if you guys want to give us this, we'll take this. Shadawi was probably smiling, just saying, go boys, go boys, go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I think that's just a lack of map sense from Chosen One at the time. And I mean, he's shown good map sense in the past, but if he looks at that review and like, he will be like, what was I actually doing there? Like, it just, you know, maybe just heat of the moment that he wasn't really paying attention. He realizes that he needs to farm, he needs to get something going, but that was not the time to be farming that far out. Even if you are a PL with a significant amount of farm and the Aegis, you can't. Like I said, Castaway is designed to eat you alive, and you're going to give him that opportunity along with 4 of his friends. You can't expect to come back from that kind of thing.
The big thing about APL is, I mean, if you do use doppelwalk, usually just try and use it like that. The problem is there's just so many chances for you to get shackled as well, RP'd. They'll instantly spot out which one is the real one. You are dead every single time. But we do see a smoke up here. WRG wants to finish this right now. They want to smoke up. They want to go in. But are we going to see counter smoke?
No, I don't think so. That would be a terrible place to smoke anyway, because this is like such a great. Yeah.
I just saw them all group up.
Yeah, I was also like, are they going to smoke? But like that would seem stupid to smoke there.
Yeah, and the rest of the side is coming in. Unfortunately, their smoke does get one off, and Chosen One he actually gets Glimmer Caped up right now. And is he going to try and engage on this? Is there a hook shot? The hook shot actually catches on 2. There's Doms, and Doms actually brings him out to where they're going on. Castaway is once again just shallow graved up. They're busy going on it. Will they be able to actually get that kill? Castaway is down. That is 2 heroes down for the side of WRG. Now they're trying to go onto Dazzle as well. Dazzle might be the 3rd hero to drop. That is a 3-for-0 engagement, and they want more. Santo, is he gonna, there's the Yule Scepter going up from Santo. Doms will have to run out of this one. G4s though are busy being pressured quite heavily at this point. They have to get back.
Yeah, they will have to get back, but I mean, that was still a fantastic play there by Carbon, set up by a spectacular Clockwork ulti. I mean, that hook shot caught...
T4s are down.
And they lost the top barracks as well. But I mean, I think they can live with it. They're going to try and push down middle. They realize that the game is up. I think there are buybacks. Yeah, there's buybacks on all of the relevant WRG heroes. So I don't think Carbon's actually going to get through this. They're going to do what they can. They're going to leave Smack to try and defend. But again, they don't really lock down without Smacker there. So I don't know how this is going to work.
Just trying to pressure it out. Castaway's actually being... he was diffused up right there. Are they still going to try and take out Scad? Smacker has actually come in right now. This is going to be a full-on fight. He did force in. There it goes. Smacker going straight onto Castaway. Are they going to be able to get the kill? No, Castaway. Once again, he just gets shallow graved up, and that is the problem the whole time. But is this might just be a dieback coming through from Smacker. Are they going to be able to get that kill? Smacker, it's going to be so close. And Castaway is still alive. Castaway is still alive. That is a death on the PL. That's a death on the Lina. And Dreamy is going to drop here now as well. He does manage to blink out.
Nope. But a valiant effort there by Carbon, and very, very nearly getting the kill onto Castaway. I think if that had happened, they might very well have just won it outright. But Magnus, again, Doms, I mean, he had a fluffed ulti earlier on, but that was just a series of perfect ultis there to keep his team in the game at a critical point. And with the 2 Raxes up, Carbon is staring down the barrel of a very scary looking gun, and probably going to be eating a lot.
I honestly have to say, This Dazzle though, Shallow Graves, I mean, they're focusing so much on the cores of WRG. They are leaving the Dazzle alone. They can instantly pop the Dazzle, and then there's no Shallow Grave. And this Shallow Grave has been the cause of their defeat. I have to say, I understand Doms has been playing tremendously well, but the Shallow Grave has been the cause of... Oh, this is a big problem for Chosen One if he actually does die from this one. No, managed to get out of that one, and he's actually turning around, going onto the Wind Ranger. Chosen One has to be careful because he actually used his buyback right there. If he dies, this is going to be extremely bad. And once again, the Shallow Grave coming on from Castaway. It's just, that's game. No buybacks for...
No buybacks, sitting in the well, can't really do anything, and they've got a horde of super creeps basically just working on their towers. So yeah, Carbon, valiant attempts here at the end, but it's just really not going to happen.
Yeah, there's an RP as well, just catching out LKR and Chosen One. Well, I think this is just his last stand. He won't be able to really do anything. Nope. There you go. GG's coming through. I honestly have to say, I'm surprised that Carbon were running into the same issue. If it was me, I would tell PL, screw the rest, kill the Dazzle. Kill the Dazzle. Put your illusions on the Dazzle, because so many illusions. Dazzle was the bane of their existence because they blow everything, including a Laguna Blade, and Dazzle just says, Shallow Grave, heal you up, there you go, you're alive, let's kill them all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can admit the PL to that. I certainly think the Lina would have been a much better choice. Just you'll stun Dragon Slave ulti, and then you just remove the Dazzle very, very quickly before you can actually get anything done. But yeah, I do agree. S and those Graves were just game breaking, because Carbon had expended all of their effort to try and kill one of these cores, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, now he's got another 5 seconds of life. He gets healed up, he turns things around, he still gets in stupid amounts of damage, and Carbon they couldn't handle it anymore.
Oh guys, first, like I said, I would have given the odds 60-40 to Carbon, but White Rabbit Gaming proving me wrong. This is the first game. Stay tuned for game number 2. We'll be right back.
shelf it. I can't help it. So I kiss what I know so well, because I know that it will never tell. Nazi stalks right out of my head. So I gotta get out. Gotta get out. Gotta get out. Gotta get out. Gotta get out.
Okay guys, welcome back to game number 2 between Carbon and White Rabbit Gaming. This is the loser bracket final. Whoever wins here goes through to the game number, or to the winner bracket final, and well, WRG is surprising not just me, but I think a lot of other people with their win versus Carbon.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you've seen just how Carbon's been playing the last couple of weeks, you'd think that Carbon would have won that. But White Rabbit Gaming has shown a very, very decent ability to turn things around and show up. And they've now picked up, 3 games in a row up against Ian of the first 2 and now Carbon. So they really do need to be careful. Does Carbon about giving White Rabbit another good draft like that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I just have to say, you know, White Rabbit, for me, it all came down to Castaway played well, Chadawi played well, everyone played well, but it was S, aka Nico Dodo, and Doms. The initiation coming through from Doms, especially in the mid-game phase, and those shallow grapes just completely blew Carbon out the water. I mean, if it wasn't for those, I think Carbon would have won this game easily.
Yeah, those shallow grabs were game breaking,
yes.
as I said in the roundup of game 1. But Carbon just they would expend so much to try and get the kills, and then it was just like, oh, okay, just grave the guy, and then Carbon have to like suddenly redirect their attention to somebody else, and right at that time is generally when Doms would re-engage and Castaway would start throwing out the shackles, and Carbon just couldn't fight like that. They used up so many resources to get a kill that they then didn't, and then still got locked down immediately afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the ban out here from Carbon is Spirit Breaker as well as the Winter Wyvern. White Rabbit Gaming I mean, the Winter Wyvern was very lackluster in game number 1. White Rabbit decided to go for the same type of bans, the Bounty Hunter and the Earthshaker. That does leave the Tusk and the Lina, of course, open. And both Tusk and Lina were picked. And here we see another Bane pickup from Carbon. Going back to what they feel comfortable with, and it's just an insta-spec pick. I completely agree with this. I honestly think Spectre is the strongest carry. And even if you do pick up an anti-mage or something against the Spectre, if you give the Spectre 20 minutes, you've lost. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen White Rabbit dominate with the Spectre. From what we've seen thus far of the patch, it seems like Spectre is going to be that new monster carry. So, Carbon giving it up in the first round, I mean, you can't really ban it out. It would seem a little bit of an overreaction, but given how White Rabbit has been playing, might have been justified. Bane, Scan's been very keen on picking up the Bane regularly here. I don't know exactly how much it's going to do. If Lina is a support, it can set up quite a bit. Otherwise, I think Carbon are going to have to grab another support that can somehow work with Bane, which Scant hasn't really shown the... He's always grabbed the Bane, but he's rarely picked up something that combos well with the Bane.
He's grabbing the Bane on first pick. It's never banned out against Carbon. So is it worth a first round pick? I said the same thing yesterday. It's never banned out. It's never picked. Why would you pick it this early on?
Yeah, I think Scan just really likes the hero, and he obviously feels that it's a very, very potent pick. Look, it can work against the Spectre. The problem is that the way the Spectre plays, it's an illusion-based hero. So Bane is pretty average against illusion-based heroes. BKB carries, yeah, he's great against. Single target carries, he's great against. But illusion-based heroes, particularly the Spectre, I mean, he's never going to be in a fight when the Spectre arrives, so he'll usually be starting to initiate on somebody else, and then Spectre just arrives with the Haunt, and Bane can't deal with that kind of damage later.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the Shadow Fiend being picked up here for Carbon. So is this going to be a safe lane Lina or a safe lane Shadow Fiend?
I think support Lina, mid Shadow Fiend here. It seems the most logical way of running it. Bane finally gets somebody that it can actually combo well with sleep into the stun with the Dragon Slave over the top, and then a Brain Sap. And SF will have some form of protection in the mid lane if Bane TP's in, or if the Lina TP's in, so they can at least set something up for the Shadow Fiend in the mid lane if they decide to roam. And Shadow Fiend's a decent laner in and of himself, so he'll just be hanging around there and hoping to get enough work done. White Rabbit, they do still have the option on the Quap if they want to try and jump the Shadow Fiend there. And Quap has been known to do stupid amounts of damage against the Shadow Fiend. Undying, however, comes out for Carbon. That's an interesting decision.
I do like the Witch Doctor pickup here from WRG. I probably would always prefer Witch Doctor over Bane, especially now that he's been buffed. I mean, a Witch Doctor combo with the Lina Shadow Fiend and Undying for me feels stronger, feels more aggressive. But the Undying pick from Carbon, so is that going to be an offlane Undying, or is the Lina going to run? Well, if it's an offlane Undying, then the Lina might be run as a support here, combo with the Bane.
Yeah, I think that is a definite possibility that we see an offlane Undying. It does kind of confuse me because, we usually have seen the Undying run as that position for support. Undying's not a terrible combo with the Bane either. Sleep and then you use the zombies, or you drop the tombstone, the zombies then, can spawn and all the rest, and it's much more difficult to actually try and kill off the tombstone that way. So I don't think it's a terrible combination. That would mean that probably you do get the safe lane Lina or the safe lane Shadow Fiend, but I'd much rather see an offlane Undying here, in my opinion. It just does a lot more. I think it's more likely to get levels.
Yeah, and Visage being picked up by White Rabbit Gaming, going for a little bit more split, and of course Lockdown. I mean, the Visage birds are very good up against the Bane, because the Bane starts ulting you, send the birds, there you go, done. And even though they have a task that can disable the Bane, they have a Witch Doctor that can potentially disable the Bane with the stuns. The Visage birds are a guaranteed thing.
Yeah, and the bird's also actually very, very good against Lina because of her long cast times. You can drop the birds and it can just completely shut down the Lina's ability to land a stun or land the Dragon Slave. So Visage is a very, very good pickup here. It's also particularly strong against those zombies later on once he's got a couple of levels in the Gravekeepers. And generally, I think White Rabbit has got a fairly solid lineup here. I'm just a little bit concerned about the mid lane that they have decided to go for, because they themselves banned out the Quap. And Carbon will grab themselves a Mirana last pick.
Mirana's been banned out versus Carbon. Bravado banned it out. I think White Rabbit, might have banned it out the previous side. It's a hero that Carbon loves to run and can run very well. So up with the Bane. I mean, just quickly think about the Bane into Mirana arrow, into Lina stun. Whoever runs offlane, the Tusk is dead. Now, is this going to be a core Mirana with a support Lina, or is this going to be a core Lina with a support Mirana?
It's a core Mirana. I saw Carbon run a similar strategy to this earlier in the week. Bane was the support. They're actually going to run dual lanes, I think. It's going to be Undying Lina and Mirana Bane will be the lineup. That is what Carbon was running. I forget against which team, but it worked pretty well. Obviously, that team wasn't White Rabbit, so it remains to be seen if they'll be able to catch out White Rabbit with that kind of play. They might default into the tri lane if things don't go 100% on that Mirana Bane lane, but I think it's going to start off with Lina and dying here. And
well, like we see, there's not even been a Lesh pick or ban coming out from any one of these two sides. Quite an interesting one. There's going to be Smacker handling the Mirana, chosen one on the Shadow Fiend. LKR on Lina, Dreamy on Undying. It's going to be interesting to see how they exactly land this. I really want to know. But we will introduce the teams in a bit. So just waiting for the game to start.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Every coin helps.
Done. Up.
Illusion.
We
That's exactly how you want to start off the game. I mean, you're going to pick an aggressive lineup with the Undying, and if he's going to get 2 kills to start off, well, that's just damn fantastic. You're also going to get luck or some levels, so immediately Carbon strikes back, and White Rabbit Gaming under some severe pressure. Chidawi is not a very strong laner on the Spectre, and I mean, they can just abuse this constantly. Dreamy actually just baiting out the Grave Troll there as well. Yeah, Dreamy is still fine, but I mean, the problem is Carbon is just abusing the fact they can get aggressive here. They will lose their Shadow Fiend in the mid lane, but if, I mean, that's a small price to pay at the moment for the kind of aggression they're getting down on bot lane. They're getting off to a wonderful start on the Undying here. They're getting off to a great start on the Lina. And the problem is this kind of pressure means that WRG now has to make the plays. We can already see the Tusk moving down to the bot lane. That's costing him money. It's giving a lot of free time to smack up on the top lane. Like I said, they lose their mid lane Shadow Fiend, which is a bit of a pity. But, I mean, you'll trade your Shadow Fiend 4 or 5 kills at this stage. I mean, it hurts, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted from Scant, and I mean, he didn't do it last night. Odd drafts, but here in game 2 of White Rabbit Gaming, he's just decided, you know what, let's get aggressive, let's get in White Rabbit's face. And I mean, White Rabbit is just, it's a massacre at the moment. 7-1 at the 5-minute mark. Carbon is basically just pulling out all the stops, and you know, WRG has no idea how to contest. They've actually moved Chidawi up to the top lane to try and contest against Smacker, and I mean, Smacker's going to enjoy that. It's a ranged tier up against a melee, which means Chidawi still gets very, very little farm, and with this kind of start, Carbon can really just TP their bot lane up onto the top and continue to wreck him.
Yep.
Yeah, that is truly terrifying, as Chosen One will spot S just moving in, and S drops a pretty decent ward here, so they're going to try and set up for another kill maybe onto Chosen One. Castaway eats the raise, and will retreat because, I mean, Castaway can still get burst down here by C1. All Chosen really needs is a little bit of setup, which Carbon has in spades at the moment, so it's a dangerous position for White Rabbit Gaming to find themselves in. And Dreamy, well, he's just going to continue his harassment of Chidawi, just walking in and throwing out the decay stack. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's, like I said, he's the weakest laner that you can get at this stage, and he's got no protection. They've left him all alone up. He's actually going to TP down to the bot lane again, where they do see Lucker hanging out. But again, Carbon, with the start they have, they can really just say, okay, well, we're going to TP down bot lane. There we go. Scant is immediately TPing down. They still has the smoke available, and they should be able to set up a stun here. Now, obviously, there are multiple heroes in the area, and Scant will spot that out with the rotations in now. So they'll just
Radiant's top tower is under
Free farming, it does leave Chosen free farming on the middle lane. They did manage to get 3 kills, but wow, 1,700 gold swing to WRG because of those 3 kills.
yeah, a huge swing at this point of the game, but I mean, again, how much space is created? I mean, you know, Chosen is basically just clearing out the mid lane tower. Top lane tower is actually dropped to Smacker, and it cost White Rabbit 4 TPs to get themselves, or 3 TPs to get themselves in there. So Carbon won't be totally stressed for the last 3. I mean, it's definitely, you know, you don't want to continue that kind of trend, but again, they're shutting down the Spectre, they're shutting down heroes, and they're getting a lot of levels on their Undying. He's actually level 5, close to level 6. Let's take a quick look. I just want to just check. Bane's actually only level 4, so that might be a bit of a problem, but by and large, Carbon has just done...
Oh, the ultimate coming through here. I mean, the early ultimate being picked up by Morana, I do like that. It shows you can be more aggressive and more defensive. Early ultimate has literally just saved Chosen's life mid. But that's 5 heroes from WRG grouping up here mid. This is going to mean that the bottom lane is, or the bottom tower is just going to drop.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to catch out Santo here?
I don't think they really want to get involved with Santa. They, you know, it's just too far away. They don't have any vision of the area, and White Rabbit will not be, you know, able to just give up another free kill there.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, they do have a sentry up, and they will be dewarding the observer. I think they're going to try and contest this middle lane.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Smacker missing the last hit there. What's actually coming on the courier for Smacker? Drums of Endurance. That's an early drums up, a very early drums up for a Murano. Mech will nearly be coming up for Shadow Fiend as well.
Yeah, and I mean, they're looking to fight early. They don't want to take this too late. They know they're up against a Spectre, so they'll be looking to finish this game as quickly as possible. 20 minutes probably in that area, maybe 30 if they really, really have some farming problems. But other than that, Carbon doesn't want to take this late. It's just going to be too easy then for the Spectre.
6,000 net worth lead at the 10-minute mark for the side of Carbon, and roughly the same experience. I mean, you will always, in most cases, see the same. But are we going to see an engagement here onto Chadawi? Is he actually going to be scouted out? Scan trying to come in. Chadawi, though, he's trapped. Of course, he does have a Quelling Blade, so he can get out if need be. Is there going to be a Lina? Nope, they're not going to do anything. Middle lane, though, they might want to engage. It's just very difficult to try and engage on top of Carbon, even though you have a Tusk.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they have the Undying as well. Undying can really just hang around, drop the Tombstone, and WRG doesn't really have any quick attacking heroes outside of Castaway, and I don't know if you really want to waste the focus fire on that. They're going to jump onto
Here's
Dreamy.
the engagement straight onto Dreamy, and the arrow actually does miss. Dreamy does drop everything he has. Are they going to... They actually do get the kill. Oh, there's the career as well, the career! Oh.
Yeah, not enough damage there. Dreamy will get finished off though. They're very, very well played by Castaway to land that long-range power shot, and an important kill for them to get. But I mean, Carbon is not going to let that stop them. They will just keep coming, and nothing that WRG can really do to stop them now. S still looking for that all-important level 6 Castaway. He's got nothing really that he can do right now outside of throw a couple of power shots and try to slow things down. But for the most part, Carbon picks up their third tier 1 tower, and they are looking to just crush WRG in this game before WRG is even in a position to take the fight.
Let's have a quick look here. Castaway, going straight for that Aghanim Scepter. It's still going to take him a while. He's roughly around 2,400 away from it. So probably within the next 3 or so minutes. Chosen One, though, has a makeup. I honestly see Carbon just grouping up and pushing out at this point.
Yeah, Carbon, I mean, they can 5-man very, very effectively. They have the drums up, they have the mech. So, I mean, I think anybody could really know that right now Carbon just really wants to 5-man as much as possible. You know, get that tower dominance and then start working on going high ground as quickly as possible. WRG doesn't actually have fantastic high ground outside of Witch Doctor right now, and he's not even level 6. So this is the time for Carbon to really just, you know, press their advantage.
Well, let's have a quick look here. They have actually they have actually used the ultimate right now. They are trying to go for something, not finding anything.
Yeah, WRG is obviously suspicious though, since there's nobody on the map, and they definitely should be, and that's probably why just playing a little bit defensively. I mean, it was a pity that Scan couldn't find the Windrunner. If he'd been able to find the Windrunner, it definitely would have been a kill onto Castaway.
We might see an engagement onto the middle lane. 2 heroes from WRG are on the high ground right now. Are we going to see anything here, Doms? Are they going to be able to... Yeah, there's Scans with his ultimate, and the arrow also flies through, but unfortunately latching onto the Spectre. Quite a big shackle shot, drums being used. Are we... Oh, these stuns! The stuns from the Witch Doctor! The RNG stuns here, landing onto Smacker this time. Now there's 3 heroes going straight onto Witch Doctor. He is going to drop. That is 2 heroes down, and I think this will also be the tower dropping.
Yeah, it definitely will be the tower dropping, and the Tombstone means that there's very, very little that WRG can actually do to contest here. And Chosen actually comes in and just clears out the creep wave as well. So, I mean, WRG, what can they really do at this stage? Chadawi is virtually pointless. He's only got a Vanguard. He's not actually doing any damage worthy of mentioning. And Carbon are just abusing that fact. They know that there's nothing that right now WRG has that is even slightly scary.
Yep, well, let's see if they go straight for high ground, if they're actually going to move towards Rosh after this. Objective Gaming, I mean, they do decide to back out, making a straight beeline towards the Rosh pit. Is there actually a medallion up on anyone?
There is, but remember the medallion is pretty bad against Rosh now. I mean, it's okay.
It's not bad, it still helps.
Yeah, it helps, but not as much as it used to. So Rosh is going to be at 2 armor. No, actually, only 1. Oh yeah, sorry, with the Chosen presence of the Dark Lord.
Presence of the... Yeah.
So, Rosh will be going down here, and then I think Carbon's going to just, again, they have the Aegis, they'll probably look to take the last tier 2 towers and then start pressuring high ground.
I mean, Carbon still have all of their tier 1 towers up. That is how badly this game has been going for WRG. This game feels like this is the level of farm that they should have had, or that they should be having at around the 25-minute mark, not at the 15-minute mark. So this game really feels like it's a lot later in, just because of what's happening. And Scans, well, Scans coming in, is he going to be able to actually sleep anyone? The TPs are coming in. There's Santo, he's actually going to be caught out. The Shackle shot does land, but unfortunately, Santo, buddy, you're not long for this world. And there's a big jump coming in here from the Mirana, trying to catch Castaway, unfortunately not latching onto anyone. Visage does drop, but I mean, he's back in 15 seconds. He's only at level 5.
Yeah, a level 5 Visage at 15 minutes. I mean, there's not many things that could get worse than that. And unfortunately, this is WLG's problem. Their supports aren't even level 6. Doms is only level 8. He's got himself mana boots and he's trying to build himself towards the Blink Dagger. They have no way of starting these fights outside of Wind Ranger. And do you really want Wind Ranger to be the one starting things off for the Shackle? I mean, it's just going to be like, okay, run in Shackle. Oh, no. Basically, what you've done right now is Carbon is just going to absolutely wreck you. Because...
Oh, well... Arrow coming
range.
through, hitting Visage, doing half, well, a third of his HP just from the arrow.
Yeah, but I mean, the snowball can start an initiation, but that's really just running into, you know, death's jaws. So I don't really know if WRG is in actual any kind of position to get anything done here right now.
We saw RDK playing Wind Ninja and actually initiating and just going ham. Let's see if Castaway can do that. The arrow flag through, hitting Doms. He ran straight into that, and that actually is the level 6 up for the Visage as well. That's going to be the tower dropping. There's no cliff. And with Shadow Fiend actually just going straight in, actually nearly killing off Santo if he managed to get one more raise off. But I honestly think this will either be going towards bottom or trying to go for that push for high ground.
No, they'll just go bottom. They, I don't think, are 100%, you know, confident of going high ground just yet. Maybe look to get one more item, maybe the Manta style on the Mirana, something like well, they got the Glimmer Cape on scan, so that's what they need. Undying has the mana boots. Trying to just check. I think maybe a Sanj and Yasha on the Shadow Fiend, and then they'll be ready to go. Other than that, I think they're pretty much good. Lina, maybe she looks to complete her Aghanim Scepter as well. So, S and Y.
Lina's axe is incoming up.
Is it actually? Okay, so then maybe they're willing to go high ground. But I still think, you know, with Chosen being your main frontliner, you just like to get him a little bit more tanky. They do have a lot of heal to keep him alive, but I think just, you know, S
with
and
the
Y,
Aegis?
or maybe just the Y, the Sanj.
I think by the time he gets SMI, the Aegis will be down.
Yeah,
I think they might just try and do chip damage. Maybe go for that tier 3 and then just back off, get that SMI reset and get rush again, and then just keep on doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 minutes, so let me just check his gold. I mean, he could reasonably get the Sanj. I think that's really what they'd like
Possibly.
at this stage. Maybe the Blink Dagger wasn't as necessary as he would have liked. I mean, if he'd had that, he would have had the S and Y by now, or very, very close to it. So they're going to just start taking the tier 3s, and WRG taking their time to actually get here to defend. And I mean, they haven't actually used any of their skills of Carbon, so they still have the Tombstone available. They still have Requiem. They have, you know, Lina, I mean, Mirana ulti, and with the Aegis, or with the tower down, they have nowhere to actually contest a Mirana ulti if it comes through.
Yeah, well, they're just going straight on the melee barracks, and I mean, melee does heal, so if they do try and engage, they are trying to go onto Spacker right now. The Shackle is down, but the Tombstone as well now comes. Well, there's the Requiem. Instantly, the Visage just has popped. Now they're turning around, trying to go onto Chidawi. Chidawi's down next, and now they're following. Castaway's down once. Well, the Bane form, well, Shad's actually getting a good ultimate off, and the Witch Doctor trying to do what he can, but that is now 3 buybacks, and at 18 minutes in, you don't want to buyback. They still have not got any towers though, so this might just be a little bit of overextension, but still no kill onto Saka. Now they're trying to, well, Doms is dead, so that is everyone's bought back so far, but no one has died from the side of Carbon. The problem is they have only got the 1 lane of Brax. They are busy backing off. Chosen, well, there's Chosen's going straight in. Oh, the uphill miss. And, oh, unfortunately, one little creep gets trapped in. And now they're going for the high ground. I mean, Shackle shot latching actually straight onto Chosen one as well. but this is a full lane of racks, and they're just healing themselves up constantly. They're gonna back off without losing anything. And how many buybacks were used there
was
from
4.
WRG? I think that was 4.
There was 4 buybacks at the 18-minute mark, and White Rabbit Gaming, I mean, even after the buybacks, what did they get? They popped the Aegis. I mean, 4 buybacks, and then
one
still
Aegis.
another, well, I don't think they lost anybody after the buybacks, but like 4 buybacks, they got the Aegis, and they still lost the Raxes. Like, what did that actually get them in the end? I mean,
absolutely nothing. Over 20,000 net worth lead for the side of Carbon at 20 minutes in. This is 1,000 gold per minute advantage going the way of Carbon, with the Shadow Fiend sitting at just under 12,000 net worth, and the highest net worth on is Caster on the Wind Ranger, which is half of that.
yeah, I mean, like, this is basically just an exhibition in how to play an early game lineup that your opponents have, you know, have no idea how to counter right now. They don't have any heroes that are like are great in team fights outside of the Witch Doctor. And I mean, Witch Doctor's level 7 at 20 minutes in. He's virtually irrelevant in this fight. Doms has not been able to get anything done on his offlane position, and
Now he nearly died.
yeah, okay. Chidawi nearly died, and I think he ulted. Did he ult aggressively there, or did he ult defensively?
I think he altered defensively there. I've got no idea. But you do see an engagement here going straight onto Smacker right now. He does manage to get that leap going onto high ground. Now he's busy running away. The power of the drums, and he will be able to make it out.
And I mean, the fact that Chosen's in the area as well pretty much tells White Rabbit Gaming there's
Run
no way
away.
they're getting a kill there. Yeah, it's like, oh, there's the 12k net with Shadow Fiend with, you know, a BKB that we can't actually kill. So let's not try to take this fight anymore, gents.
Yeah, well, seems like Carbon are busy pushing out top end. I do like this. Most pubs would just decide, well, let's just push down middle. But you try and split it up. So you push down top because bottom has already been taken. And then you perhaps send one person in just to clear out like one creep wave, because they have to defend bot, otherwise bot just goes straight in. And if you defend bot, you lose top. But if you defend top, bottom just clears out and you get more gold from all the towers that drop.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing is that the defensive times between the middle and top lane towers are much bigger than between the middle and the top. Obviously, I mean that's just physics.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carbon
Run!
making the better decision here, just try and push in the top lane tower. But I think if WRG loses this next team fight, they'll probably just call GG. They're already so far behind that it doesn't really matter what they actually do. They would have to win a full 5-man wipe here to make this defense worth and not lose a rack.
Yep. And here you go. Shadow Fiend's busy taking the front line. You'll just see them pushing out, wait for the next creep wave. Do the exact same thing. I mean, they don't really care that middle is being pushed out. They use their fortification. And they're going to clean out the creep wave. And with the next creep wave, they're going to probably do another 3rd damage. And then with the next creep wave, they will be breaking high ground.
Yeah, I mean, they could very well just take out the tower on this next creep wave. They will commit here. Smack is actually going to jump pretty far. But the BKB comes out from Chosen, and he's going to drop that Spirit Bomb that just backs the whole of WRG off, and this should be the tower going down. Snowball's going to try and reinitiate onto Smacker, but the leap is meaning that it's not really going to get a whole lot done. Scant is going to pop the ulti, and he's actually going to go straight for S. He realizes that S is the biggest damage in this fight. It will pop the Glimmer Cape after taking quite a bit of damage. And Dreamy, the last one to exit here for Carbon. He will actually be the first one down as NewB, or Castaway, sorry, will get that kill. And again, as you said, a 3rd damage to the tower.
Yep. They probably could have got the tower, but the big jump in, unfortunately, Shadow Fiend not really getting a very good requiem off there. Everyone just scattering to the winds. The Shadow Fiend blinked in. But, well, the pause is coming through from Santa. I mean, next time they have everyone on board, they will most likely just decide to, well, let's just take top tower. And as soon as top tower's down, I have to say, very well played though this time from Bane. Well, you know, after the Mirana Moonlight Shadow was actually cast, standing down here, and oh, I can't draw on the map while it's paused. Yay! Well, you can actually see on the mini map.
It just appears on the mini map.
So actually grabbing someone over here, if you can look at the mini map. It was, you know, very well played. It, you know, kept the Witch Doctor into, I mean, Witch Doctor started using his ultimate, but it was instantly cancelled by Scan. So Carbon basically schooling WRG during this game. It's a complete turnaround, actually a worse turnaround than the WRG Carbon in the previous matchup.
Yeah, it's, I mean, Carbon won a lot of fights. WRG won a lot of fights. Then Carbon slowly came back, won a couple of big fights, but in the end, WRG just like pulled it through at the end of game one with just a superior lineup in the end. Carbon this game, they've never really even given WRG a chance. They've just completely dominated them straight out of the laning stage. Those early kills on the bot lane there with that Lina and Undying combo have meant that Shidawi, I mean, even right now, he's sitting drums and Vanguard, 1,500 HP. I mean, yeah, he's got 10 armor, but he does 98 damage. Even with the ulti, he's just irrelevant. Like he's not doing anything to Carbon. The only hero that is even slightly scary or scared of him is Scant, and that's only because Scant has to stay still for 5 seconds in every team fight while he's channeling his ulti.
Well, Spectre's decided to go for drums build up here. I mean, he needs drums. I think after this, he needs to go Diffusal. He can't go Radiant.
Yeah, Radiance is out this game. It's not even a consideration for Chidawi. I don't think it's just going to take too long, and it's just going to be worthless right now. I mean, he's already getting very little gold from this bot lane, which is the only truly safe lane he can farm right now, and it's probably not going to be. I mean, he gets the Radiance. Let's say he gets an insane timing on his Radiance from now. Let's say he gets it at 34 minutes, 10 minutes from now, right? What's it going to do? Because by then, Carbon's added another level of items on top of everything. You could see something like the Skadi coming out of the Shadow Fiend, or S&Y if he feels like it's early enough to still go for that. Smacker could get his own extra bit of damage. And I mean, it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do now? You have a little bit more damage, you do a little bit of damage to them, but you still only have about 1,900 HP.
Oh, let's have a look here. They are just farming here in the jungle. I think they're waiting for Rosh, and as you can see, Scant's just chilling here. He doesn't need anything else. He's a free ward. I'm quite surprised they're not putting the courier there, but it will be up in the next, like, what's this, 5 seconds?
Yeah, it's about that. 3, 4.
3, 2, 1, 1, 1,
There you go.
1. There you go. Well, okay, so I was like off with. But still, Josh up, starts attacking the Scant. Is just like, I was just about to say, Scant AFK, this is going to be a problem.
I think he's filled with regret,
so
thinking that his teammates were going to help come a little bit earlier. But yeah, Roshan -2 armor, he should be going down fairly quickly here with C1, or sorry, Chosen now having that aura up.
Yeah, and Solar Crest as well, so pushing it a little bit further. Not as fast as it always used to be, but after this, I think it's just going to be a fall down barrel top lane.
Yeah, they probably will just barrel down on the top lane, just clear it out. It's going to take them a while though, so they might be a little bit more keen on taking it to the mid lane. So I think WRG has done a good job here, making certain that it's not as easy for Carbon to push out that top lane as they were hoping.
Well, let's have a look here. Let's focus on Chosen. I mean, he's busy pushing down middle this time. I think they're going to actually push down mid and then try and go for sneaky top.
Yeah, they'll probably wait for the creeps. I mean, the creeps are in the base now on the bot lane, so they could. I mean, that will pass the backdoor protection, and they'll be more than happy with that, I think.
I think they're just playing it safe. Quite surprised that Shadow Fiend's not just going in on this one. He does have the Aegis. I think he's still going for that Sanjay Yasha build up, which he has the Yasha, yes. So.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, it's early enough, or he's far enough ahead that he can get away with it, because like he can abuse. Oh, what a shackle there is Lucker and C1 getting.
Well, they did manage to burst down the Shadow Fiend instantly. Are we going to see any kind of counter engagement? The Witch Doctor ult is also being used, and there is the BKB going straight in. Shadow Fiend dominating the Witch Doctor with that BKB into Requiem, and now they actually did manage to pick up. So Spectre does buy back. They've given enough time, and the Glyph is actually used. Are they going to be able to do anything further? No one has fallen just yet here from Carbon. They do manage to get a little bit more damage down on the Undying, but now they actually want to get domed right now. The aggressive jump is there from Smacker. Is he going to be able to get the kill? He does get the kill on the one. They do manage to pick off Chidawi. This is the dieback coming through from him, and there's only one hero left, and it is Castaway, but the buyback is there from Santa right now. I still don't know if this is enough. This is going to be the middle lane of Rax at least. The Witch Doctor is coming back. He does not have a Death Ward up just yet. Oh, I see more engagement coming here from Chosen One. Chosen One actually gets healed up. I can't believe it. He's still alive, and he dodges the power shot. and they still haven't taken the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I think Carbon maybe getting a little bit too aggressive on the heroes there. Somebody should have just sat on the tower and tried to take it out, because that's now the second tower that they have very, very low on HP. So if they do get the push, I mean, they'll probably just clear it out. It gives White Rabbit Gaming a little bit longer, though. The one thing it did do was shove Chidawi down into the bottom 4 of the net worth graph, as the entirety of Carbon is now ahead of the hard carry for White Rabbit Gaming. So things not looking too good for White Rabbit. Castaway playing a lone hand here, unfortunately. 6-2-1 on this Wind Ranger. He's the only one I think right now Carbon are really scared of, since his latching, or sorry, his shackles and his just general damage is a lot more than they like to deal with at this stage.
I mean, if you have a 5 support Bane that's more than your number 1 role Spectre, things are not going that great for you.
No, not at all. And I mean, Scan's now got a Blink Dagger of his own, so I mean, he can just initiate from friggin' miles away. They'll probably just send Shadow Fiend up to the front lines. He'll, tank up as much as he can, and then the rest of the team comes flying in from behind as soon as Shadow Fiend is committed on.
Well, Shadow Fiend can go for that Sanjay Yasha right now if he wants to. Actually, Shadow Fiend's going for Manta.
Not too bad either. I mean, he is building... He's not actually building stats though, so the Manta is not going to be fantastic for him this game, I don't think. But I suppose
it could
it's
help
the way
to try and get out of the shackle shot.
No, shackles are stun, you can't dodge that. Maybe to try and dodge it, but the way the way Castaway's been throwing them, it's like it's a really difficult skill to disjoint with a manta unless you can see it flying towards you. So yeah, Chosen One I think is gonna try, but in the chaos and confusion of a team fight, I don't really know if it's gonna work so well.
Well, here's the Chosen One for a reason. Ha ha ha. No, we do see an engagement here. Once again, another shackle coming through, catching out two of the cores, which is quite big. But the tower is actually going to drop from this. And they are pushing now down onto the rack, going straight for the melee racks. Will they actually be able to finish this one off? There's a lot of zombies that's just that's keeping everyone at bay, but the drums has been used. Are they going to be able to gauge? Will they get this tower? Yes, they will get the tower. There is the ultimate coming through from the Spectre, and the BKB being popped by Shadow Fiend. It's going to be a close race onto Chidawi, and Chidawi, well, he's busy running away. Are they going to be able to actually get this pick off? One more hit needed. Chidawi is down. The buyback is there from Wind Ranger. He's going to try and come in, or she's going to try and come in. Not actually getting a shackle. Going onto Dreamy. Dreamy will just heal himself up. And there's the GG well plays coming through. Carbon just schooling WRG.newB.
Yeah, schooling them in the early game play. I mean, you could see that newbie, they were starting to get to that point where it might have been dangerous if the Spectre had any level of farm this game, Carbon would have not had a chance. But as it was, they played brilliantly in the early game. Those first 15-20 minutes, they just wrecked WRG. Like, WRG wasn't even at the races this game in those first 15 minutes. And Carbon, spectacular play. This is the kind of aggression we wanted to see against them last night against BVD. So if they can keep this up, I'm pretty certain they can win game 3 here against White Rabbit Gaming. And once that's done, I'm pretty certain they can look to maybe make a better showing against BVD Mover, because I don't even think they would have been happy with the way they played last night. It was really, really poor all around, and this is the kind of play we expect from them. The kind of dominating performance.
Oh yes, definitely. Guys, on that note, special thanks to Gigabyte for sponsoring this tournament. $2,000 in cold hard cash, $1,000 for first prize, $600 for second, $400 for third. It's a lot of money for a 1 week tournament here in South Africa, so thanks to them. Thanks to Dota 2 Lounge for listening to the games. Thanks to everyone else involved, as well as NAV TV for being the host of this tournament. We'll be back for game number 3 of this loser bracket final. Stay tuned. It's going to be one hell of a game.
this.
My senses match. suffering and lies. 'Cause aliens from outer space trying to shoot us down. These aliens will never take us down.
Okay guys, welcome back to game number 3 between Carbon and White Rabbit Gaming newbie. Game 1 was taken by WRG White Rabbit quite convincingly. Game 2, Carbon just came back and stomped. We're at game 3 now. This is where the Bugattis are made or lost. It's on this game. Whoever of course wins goes through to the main finals, which is a best out of 5, 0 seed advantage. And well, there's a big difference between $400, $600, and $1,000 first, second, and third prize, respectively. Prof, what are your thoughts?
Seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Well, that's it. White Rabbit actually has let the Undying go through. Carbon's got a choice now, Lina or Undying. I mean, there's a few other possible. Be run, as we saw there, in a dual core off. It can be run mid. We have seen, or I've seen every now and then going for a Lina safe lane, but not really that much. Just opens up everything. But this time WRG go for the Tusk Undying. Now that combo is extremely potent. If you get the Undying in with a good snowball, and you, as soon as you land, you just drop the tombstone, get a good decay stack, or a good decay off onto 3 heroes. I mean, that is a fight, 30% won right there.
Ten seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
Or how can I say? Well, they're gonna grab themselves the Skywrath Mage. That was not on any of my lists for what they could have grabbed here. I was thinking maybe they try and contest with a little bit more early game fighting. Skywrath Mage can do a bit of that, but it does seem a bit of an odd pick here. I would have expected maybe something like the Dazzle to get the heal waves going, get that Grave up to try and contest against the Undying early on. And I think that would have been a much better pick here. Skywrath Mage, the last time Carbon Dota... No, it wasn't Carbon, it was Ian that used this the last time, and it wasn't spectacular, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, for those of you guys that can't hear Prof on stream, it's just Reborn audio bugs. I mean, sometimes you don't hear me, sometimes you don't hear Prophecy. Our production manager will try and see if he can reconnect a few times to actually get both of the guys' audio in. So Prof, just quickly speak and then we'll just see. He'll just keep on trying to fix the issue slowly but surely.
10 seconds
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes there's been a lot of weird things that if both people have to have the exact same settings sometimes, or otherwise the one person doesn't pick up. So hopefully it's been fixed. I'm changing a couple of settings on my side. Just keep letting me know if you guys can hear me or you can't. Otherwise, it looks as though White Rabbit Gaming will be going with the Witch Doctor ban out here. I mean, they were the ones that used that last game. It's pretty much the only thing keeping them in some of those team fights. TA will be removed by Carbon, just trying to prevent, again, something that can do damage fairly early on with not a whole lot of items behind it. And I think Carbon, they'll have the second pick coming out of the bans here. So White Rabbit will probably look to get an aggressive mid laner here. I don't know what's going to be fantastic against the Lina at this stage. Perhaps the Wind Runner. No, sorry, Wind Ranger's already been removed. So they'll grab themselves the PL. Interesting decision.
The slow coming through from the PL as well as the slow from the Undying. Okay, sweet. The audio is live again. So for those of you guys watching on stream, we have audio now. If this happens with you guys that you can only hear either me or either Prophecy, that's me as in Reddit or Prophecy, just restart your Dota a few times. Then it magically, the magical fairies, the magical elves of Reborn magically fix it. Somehow. Gotta love Reborn, guys. Gotta love Reborn. But let's go straight back into the game right now. The Ember Spirit was banned out by WRG, of course. Ember Spirit countering out Phantom Lancer quite well. Carbon has to be careful because with a squishy support like the Skywrath Mage, can be picked off pretty quickly with the Undying Tombstone and the Phantom Lancer coming through. But Carbon decides to pick up the Sven. Now, you've been hammering this Sven quite a bit the past few days. Every time you're like, well, you could just pick up a Sven. Okay, no. Well, you could just pick up a Sven. Okay, no. Carbon have decided, I think they listened to you and they're just like, meh, let's go for a Sven.
You see, the nice thing about the Sven here, I mean, the previous Sven I saw to this was a Sven played as a support by, I believe it might have been the Mad Hatters. It wasn't. Oh, I can't remember. There's been two Svens I've seen this week. The first one was a support, which was it's a nightmare I don't ever want to see again. It was just so bad. I mean, he would TP in to try and help, and he would TP in and not have mana. Throw a stun or anything. So it's like, okay, Sven just arrived, and Sven's just standing there looking at us. I guess he's pretty useless. The second one was a carry that just monstered the opponent. I can't remember exactly which team it was now. It might have been Carbon themselves. But anyway, the Sven just did so much damage in those games, and I really do think that up against the White Rabbit lineup that they have at the moment, he can do so much because Tusk's basically going to roll in. He's not going to be able to kill the Sven straight out of the gate, and Sven's just going to turn on the God Strength. He's going to start whacking. Now you've got a Tusk at close range, you've got an Undying at close range, and you'll have a PL later on at close range, and none of those will be able to deal with the Sven's right clicks. The Sven is just going to sit there and just, chop their faces to pieces. And White Rabbit, they grab themselves the Dazzle to try and protect from that, but I do think Carbon has actually gotten a pretty good draft here.
As our co-caster friend, mutual friend of both of ours, Mr. Halberd, says, whack-a-mole. That is fair.
Yeah.
He's just going to go in there, and with the God Strength, keep in mind though, base intelligence has been increased after this latest patch by 2, and your greater cleave was increased from 20, 35, 50, 65%. So it's a bigger increase in the early levels from 20, 35, 50 to 30, 42, and 54. So that's a 10% increase at level 1, a 7% increase at level 2, and of course a 4% at level 3. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a great value point now. You just put in one and then you're pretty much good to go. You can pick up the rest a little bit later, but it's almost like a free Battle Fury without the extra damage, obviously. But yeah, it's fantastic there for the Sven, and it really is going to help out his farm. And he's got a couple of supports that can set up kills for him. Slow from the Skywrath Mage, the Cold Feet proc from Ancient Apparition after Sven lands the Stormhammer. Those could be some easy kills on the White Rabbit offlane.
Are we going to see an early blink coming out for the Sven to try and get that mid-game control up and running with the blink Stormhammers coming through? Or do you think we're going to more likely see something like the Sanjay Asha Svens or the Heaven's Helmet Sven?
I think it's a lot more Blink Dagger in this game. Carbon doesn't want to take it too late. PL will be able to outcarry the Sven later on in terms of just being a split push. Sven doesn't really do very, very well with that, and Sven is very immobile without something like a blink dagger. So I think he will be grabbing that. He'll probably just be building into as much damage as possible. BKB will most likely be the only defensive item that he'll go for early on. I don't see an S and Y, even though it will help him out. I just think that the Undying has too much slow. Dazzle provides a slow and Tusk as well. So Castaway Tinker comes out. That's an interesting decision. And Tinker versus Lina, that should be an interesting matchup in the mid lane. I think Lina might have the beating of him though.
I also think so. But then again, it is Castaway's Tinker. I mean, the 17, 18-year-old, plays exceptionally well on this Tinker. And even if he gets shut down, we saw that yesterday. He got shut down, I think that was versus Ian. But as soon as he got his boots of travel up, they just couldn't do, they could hardly do anything. And he's just so proficient. It's basically muscle memory coming through there. He doesn't have to think, he just knows what to do on that hero. And he's extremely, extremely fast.
Yeah, he's extremely fast there. I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily his Tinker that carried the game yesterday. It certainly was a ticking time bomb that Ian felt they, could get around by farming against. I think is what actually cost him the game there. And look, Castaway is not the kind of player you can give space to. He will abuse it, and particularly on something like a Tinker, he can very much abuse it to his heart's content. And he's again got a PL to help him out here. So this game could be going very, very late unless Carbon puts them in a position where White Rabbit just is never able to farm.
Okay, well, the Sand King has been picked up by Carbon. I mean, this looks to me like it's going to be a 5-man early push type of lineup. I mean, Sand King does want his blink up, but he doesn't need his blink up. I mean, he does have his Burrow Strike, so that will mean that if he goes into his epicenter, then Burrow Strike to try and catch them out, that will mean that one proc of the epicenter doesn't get proc, but it's still a lot of damage. And up with an Ancient Apparition with the Skywrath Mage, with the Lina, they do have quite a bit of lockdown. So I'm going to introduce the side of WRG this time. Oh, you crashed. Well, I might introduce the side of everyone, and it seems like there's a pause coming through from Scant as well. So having a quick look here, it is going to be the Doms is running on Tusk, with Tusk being played by Doms, Phantom Lancer being played by the carry Chadawi, Castaway on his signature Tinker, S or Nico Dodo on the Dazzle, and Santo running the Undying, where the Mr. Courier is being played by Courier. This Courier is so cool. Having a look inside the Courier. On that note, let's go to the side of Carbon at this point. Lina being played by Chosen One, so that's quite an interesting pickup here. Would have thought that it would have been the Chosen One running on Sven, but Sven's actually being played by Smacker, so it's going to be a Sven versus a Tinker in the middle lane. Dreamy's running the Skywrath Mage, safe lane. LKR is there, as well as the last but not least Scant on Ancient Apparition. Going to be interesting to see how they actually lane everything, but I think this is going to be a LKR Sand King, solo Sand King versus a Doms on the Tusk. And while we wait for Mr. Prophecy to come back, I'm just so used to hearing him. We do see a full four-man rotation here on this top rune. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Sand King can actually try and contest on the bottom. Well, Noah's actually contesting on the bottom side. Both actually want to get their blocks off. Quite surprised that, I mean, I've seen this once where the Tusk actually blocks the creeps at the spawn itself between the ranged barracks and the melee barracks with his shots. And if you can do that, you delay the creeps tremendously. See if he's actually going to try and do that or just block straight off. Look here. Oh, I think we might see the guys on top. So let's quickly have a look. Stormhammer is actually being thrown on top of the Dazzle. Well, there, Dazzle's just instantly dead. The Tombstone was also blocked or dropped. And well, that's a easy kill, and that was going the way of Chosen on the Lina here on the top lane. So they'll be very happy. The pings come out on the bottom lane. No one has actually scouted the bottom run out. Both the two solo laners actually getting the blocks off, but LKR blocking not as good as Doms though. This block from Doms has just been tremendous. Definitely. Until the few levels of Caustic Finale comes out, he could start spamming out Doms, but that's going to take a while, and Doms will just take complete control. I mean, sitting already at level 2, Sand King, so only halfway towards that level. Middle lane though, let's quickly have a look and a discussion about this. Sending Smacker here in the middle lane up against Castaway. I mean, Castaway is going to be forced into leveling up his laser quite a bit to try and stop the Sven from farming, but Sven is sitting on 6 and 5 versus the Tinkers 4 and 1. Stormbolt. Quite interesting. You know, trying to zone out Doms just a little bit. It's basically you have to choose either Sandstorm or your Caustic Finale. Now, Caustic Finale allows you to push out quite fast, and Doms can't really get near any of the creeps that he's busy farming up. But it does seem like middle lane, we do see an engagement. Is there going to be actually one more hit needed? Baka getting that haste rune, and well, that will mean a second kill going the way of Carbon in that middle lane. Sorry, healing salve. Healing salve was actually used on top of because of the haste rune, Scat actually missed the healing salve and put it on himself instead of on Smacker. And top lane though, this Chosen One sitting on 12 and 3 versus Chadawi. I mean, they're completely zoning him out, 8 and 0.
Yeah.
He does have an early level up in boots, and yeah, it does seem like LKR is just gonna go for full Sandstorm, Borrow Strike combos here. Doms has to play this very carefully, you know, just running in to actually get the last hits the whole time. So it will make things a little bit more difficult, and I think Sand King will be okay. Today.
Yeah,
where they
might have
did
been, yeah.
okay, and then they just like died 3 times in a row. Smacker has to be very careful because wait, there's no level 6 Tinker, so no rockets.
Yeah, but I mean, Scant was spotted out and moving up to the top lane there, so WRG will play very, very passive. Scant now moves to try and come up behind Castaway. If they can get the Sven to TP back in time, they could very much set up another kill here onto Castaway, and that would just completely wreck him. He's sitting at 15 and 5, so not terrible stats, but he is pretty far behind the Sven at the moment.
for hero rotation on this top lane, and Doms unfortunately gets scouted out by the creeps that were pulled in. So Chosen One is busy rotating mid, but there is the engagement. This time the TPs are coming in here on the middle side. Undying is trying to come in, but the problem is Tombstone has been dropped. Are they going to be able to do anything? The Tombstone will just get completely wasted, and I mean that's the one nerf that the Tombstone got. It's just 3 attacks. 3 standard attacks from heroes, and the Tombstone is down. But the snowball coming in straight onto Smacker. Smacker does have God Strength as well as Stormhammer, and he's actually going for this. He has no support, but there's even more TPs. Oh, unfortunately, Chosen One will not. Well, they actually do manage to get the kill, and Chosen One's busy running in. He has to be very careful though. Scant is coming in with no mana at all. He does get trapped off. Dom has to be careful. There's nothing really that they can do. Sven is running back to base. 6-0 here from the side of Carbon. NewB just getting outmaneuvered, I think.
Oh, and Castaway's going to eat another death here. Luck has got him inside that ulti, and there we go. Castaway, death number 4. Carbon is just all over this young player on that Tinker. They just absolutely know exactly what they need to do at the correct times, and they're just wrecking him. He's 0-4. And Carbon off to a fantastic start, even up against the Undying here on Santo. They're just getting nothing done here as WRG. You can see they're clearly trying, rotating around their lanes, trying to get experience on the heroes that need it, but it's not working. Carbon just has an answer to every question they ask.
Doms is level 6. He has not died just yet, so I mean I have to give him props for that, especially up against the Sand King that's not doing too badly. It's 7 minutes in, but I'm going to switch over to Networth Graph. Oh wait, are we going to see any kind of engagement? Santo, do they have any vision? I think if they had vision, Santo's just going to continue on just using DK, just like stacking
DK stacks,
his DK stacks here. Maybe.
Don't really know how effective that's going to be though. I mean, Lucker. Oh, never mind. Lucker just does decide now maybe it's time to leave. He's actually very, very close to his Blink Dagger, so might just go and sit in the jungle and
second
try
highest
get that
net
done.
worth on the Sand King. Sitting on 3,200 with the Sven sitting on 3,300. Then it's 3,000. Oh wait, top lane we do see the Phantom Lancer did drop there as well. Actually dropping now 3,400, 3,300, 3,200 all for the side of Carbon, and then 2.5 as the off lane Tusk.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Dom's got quite a bit, but he's not up against a laner that's particularly scary. So you'd expect and you'd want Doms to get that much out. What you don't want or expect, though, is Undying to just be getting monstered by what looked to be, in the end, a dreamy solo kill. I mean, when your Tusk is just getting... Oh, not your Tusk. Your Undying is getting solo killed by a bird. I mean, things are not going well, yeah.
Yeah, and another kill here. 1 smack from Smacker coming here on the safe lane. Now they're actually turning around. Smacker, I think, is dead from this. Running the wrong way. I mean, the tower was busy hitting the creeps. So I'm quite surprised he didn't try and just back off that way. Even if there was a few tower hits, I think the Sand King could have won the tower aggro. And that's a big kill. I mean, how much is that? 512 gold going the way of Tusk.
Yeah, it is a pretty big kill. Admittedly, it's not really on the hero that needs it the most at this point. That would be Castaway. But I think Carbon, I mean, they won't mind that. They wouldn't have been happy with trading for a support though, but I think they know, look, we're still ahead. As long as we don't keep making a mistake like that, we'll definitely come out, on top of this game. And WRG trying to move around to the top lane now. They do have this pretty decent ward here, and they counter the Carbon ward in the jungle, so they have a fairly good idea of what's going on. And we'll
Ward stack just being farmed up by Lina. Ward stack.
Yeah, and poor old Castaway, he's got nothing in response. I think he might have already cleared a stack here, and that might be what's helping him. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going his way right now.
Double stack. This was a quad stack. They're just going to move through the jungle now, and yeah, that's exactly what Lina's doing. She'll have her Aghanim Scepter probably within the next, at this rate, probably 3 minutes, and that's going to be very, very dangerous, especially up against the PL, because PL is still very soft, and one Dragon Slave will show exactly which PL is the real one. With an Aghanim's ulti, I'm pretty sure that PL is dead.
Yeah, the taser is going to hurt quite a bit. So
smoke
WRG...
movement up here onto the top lane. Hold on that though. Thought Dreamy is trying to eat through, and they do scout. Well, they don't. They basically know that they're there because the smoke was broken. They just can't. Well, okay, well, actually trying to go for it, and they do manage to scout out the Undying. Undying is, he actually does get saved because of the tusk, but unfortunately, Smacker just coming straight in. The epicenter was used, does go into his Sandstorm, and now they're trying to go into Domes right now, and Beamy is pushing in here very fast, very far.
Yeah, might get himself a little bit too far away from any assistance, and yeah, he will go down now as Chidawi just arrives with the lance and finishes him off.
Oh, okay, and Smacker might also be in trouble here now as well, trying to go mano a mano, but he's just alone. There's absolutely no support, but he's TPing out, and he will just make it out of there alive. Playing a little bit too over aggressively. Ooh, to that person, ultimate flying through and catching some creep. Easy farm.
Yeah, I don't think he would have actually killed anybody there. I mean, maybe done a little bit of damage to Tinker, but I think Tinker would have been fine after all of that.
So very deep engagement, very aggressive play coming through from Carbon. I mean, diving very, very far. And Chosen One might be in big trouble here. He does actually have his stun, but his stun doesn't land on anyone. Dobbs will actually drop there from the Mystic Flare coming through from the Sky Space. Now they're trying to go onto the Lina, but the stun comes through and Chidawi might actually drop from this one. The Shallow Grave, and I mean, the Shallow Graves were what? Oh, wait, is he actually going to... Are they going to... Yeah, is he going to... No, he will be okay. He'll be okay, just barely, and Dreamy might actually die from this.
Yeah, he will probably die from this one, as he's got 2 zombies on top of him, and there should be enough Santa getting the last hit. But Lucker, however, sneaky grabs himself that Phantom Lancer on the back. He's going to be able to blink himself out of trouble after killing the zombie.
That was actually very, very good play, because the Ancient Apparition threw her ulti here, and of course the Sand King blinked it here, so that if the Ancient Apparition missed, he would have been able to just go, and of course that is why he got the kill right there. Rip in pieces, very well played, and I'll take that trade as Skyrath Mage for Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, I would definitely take it. I mean, they did admittedly lose the Lina before that, so
yeah,
they need to be a little bit careful, I think, about how they're playing. They're getting very, very aggressive, and they're a little bit too keen to trade here, I think, at times. They are ahead, and they've got to be careful about what they're trading, rather than just, you know, it's fine, we're ahead if we just keep, you know, going 3v2 in every fight. It'll get us to the top. But if you're losing 2 of your cores for, you know, 2 of their supports, it's not really the best idea in the world.
Yep. 7,500 net worth lead going the way of Carbon, just only around the 4,500 net experience. Sorry, tongue twisting a little bit there. 4,500 experience. So WRG are not out of this. I mean, it's not as big a lead well, it's not a big as lead for Carbon as they had in the second game, but it's still quite significant, because 7,500 at 14 minutes in, that's, well, over 500 GPM per minute difference. Look at the net worth. The top 3 are all in favor of Carbon, and significantly so. The Tinker sitting on 3,800 versus 5,800 on Smacker, which is the lead farmer.
Yeah, but I mean, Tinker's getting very, very close to his TP boots, so once he gets those up, I mean, he's going to start flying through the farm levels if it does need that. And we've actually got TPs to the top lane here. It does look as though WRG is ready to contest with Carbon.
Oh, there's the God Strength use, so if they actually wait till after God Strength, that might be the perfect opportunity to engage. However, Sven does have a Helm of the Dominator up right now, so that will help out, tremendously in regards with if he just goes ham on the side of WRG. They want to loop around, they want to try and find out someone here. Dreamy does actually scout them out. And are we going to see the engagement? Here's the Master of the Machine. Are we going to see anything? They're going straight in here onto Smacker, and straight away the war cry is actually used. And LKR coming in with a huge epicenter. Dobbs is also going to drop, and Chidawi gets caught on the tail end of, oh no! Unfortunately, you know, Chidawi's illusion was actually killed there by Chosen One, but now they're going straight onto Santa. He has got into his flesh golem. He does drop. That is a 3-man death, and Chidawi might be in big trouble. Are they going to? Yeah. They're going to actually scout him out. Oh, he does jump out of it, just not for longer.
Yeah, Dreamy will fight.
He tried to trick them out with his illusions. You know, those pub styles, or those pub plays that you see on like Dota What the Fuck or Dota Cinema top plays.
Yeah, or What the Horse.
There are What the Horse one as well.
No, there's not a top plays, just What the Horse. That's the kind of thing that people do. It's like the most illogical series of events that somehow results in them winning the fight. But anyway, Carbon pick themselves up another, what is it, I think 4 kills there in the end as they look to continue their early game domination. AA ulti coming in. Is it going to hit Castaway? It is going to hit him.
It does.
But there's no real follow-up, so he should be fine for now.
The ping's coming out saying, Laka, what are you doing, man? I got a perfect ulti. Why didn't you go in? It's like... Smack is actually being engaged upon right now. He's using his TP. Is he going to be able to get out of this one alive? How the actual... I mean, that was like 10 HP on my screen after he had TP'd. So I'm like pretty sure that was like 1 HP.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is White Rabbit Gaming doesn't actually have any stuns outside of the Tusk, so once you know that the punch and the snowball have been used, you can pretty much leisurely TP out. WRG doesn't burst you enough, or burst you quickly enough, that you should be all too concerned. And I mean, particularly the Sven, he's going to get very, very tanky. We could see a lot more of those just TP outs.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let's see the split pushing Skyrath Mage. I mean, we spoke a little bit about the split pushing support yesterday and had a laugh on it. But Ancient Apparition Ultimate coming, actually going to hit 2 heroes right now. That's quite a big one. They will have to back off from this. More support TPs coming in from the side of Carbon, and they're going to be pushing towards this bottom lane. I mean, this is the last like tier 1 tower still left for WRG, and they're trying to defend this with everything they have.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of rush control, which I think Carbon does not want to give WRG the chance at, maintaining. The Rocket's just going to keep coming out here. Castaway does not have his boot to travel, so this is just going to be a rinse and repeat exercise for the next 25 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely. Quite interesting to see the Lina going for the Ags first before the Yules, but Ags is up, so that actually does give 650 damage for the Laguna Blade. Let's hope she doesn't Laguna a... Oh, wait, there's the engagement going straight onto Castaway. Ancient Apparition Ultimate is flying through as well. Actually going to catch on 3. This is going to be huge if they do manage to get this one. It actually caught on 4 heroes. That's 1 hero down, 2, 3 heroes down. Instant buybacks coming through from the Undying, and Smacker just going ham on that tombstone. Now they want to turn around, going on to Undying, but Undying has been silenced up right now. Smacker's trying to heal as much as he can. Are the stacks going to come through? Smacker's busy running around, and well, buybacks this early on, and there's just the insta blink on the Sven. They did not get the tower, but what a fight!
Yeah, they'll get it now most likely with Dreamy doing the damage. Santa and S come in, but yeah, that was just a spectacular fight. Carbon doing what we were wishing Ian would do yesterday. That Ian kind of played so passively, hoping and praying that the March of the Machine spam would spam sign. No, I mean, it's just like, if you remember that high ground situation where they just kind of waited out the March of the Machines for like 5-10 minutes and then decided, okay, well, this is not happening, let's go somewhere else, March of the Machines again, and then like they just never really made the aggressive play. Carbon here, they saw that their creeps making this little, gap for them over there, and they just went straight in, blinking right on top to grab Castaway at the back end, just, wrecked him before he could get any damage done.
Actually, my chatting. I'm enjoying writing on the screen today. We're doing it the whole time. Bottom lane though, Doms does have a Walrus Punch as well as an Invis Ruin up here. Free me, buddy. I think you're dead. And yeah, going for this world. He's just like, well, crap. Top lane. Do you see just a rotation coming through? But of course, this is scouted out by the very deep ward. I mean, this is what Carbon needed yesterday versus Bravado with that throw on the PL. They needed this ward. Because after the Aegis, I think it was Carbon. Yes, after the Aegis pick up.
They was smoked up was BVD emo there, so I don't think that would have made a difference. But it was like, I mean, he was still like out over there.
So I'm just quickly updating the guys' game too. Oh wait, we're seeing an engagement. I have to focus on this one. Going straight in here onto Chadawi, and Chadawi will get shallow graved up. I'm gonna see an Ancient Apparition Ultimate flying straight to base. Nope.
No, I think they used the Ancient Apparition Ultimate already, so he should be okay. It's coming off cooldown now. Does he get the timing correct though? On scanned. He's not going to throw the ulti, so just letting him walk free.
Yep. So score is 1-1. Just letting the guys from Join Dota, etc. know what the scores are. And LKR, of course, he does not have his epicenter up this time. The smoke is there from Dreamy and Chosen. Chosen, what did he actually buy? Oh wait, it's actually going for that Shadow Amulet. So either Glimmer Cape or full Shadow Blade. I think almost likely be a full Shadow Blade on the Lina. No worries, you do see a big engagement coming through right now. The snowball is there. One hero, the Scarlet Mage instantly popped. Ancient Apparition ultimate actually flying through, not going to latch onto anyone. And that's 2 heroes down. I mean, no idea why Carbon is trying to be this aggressive with only 2 heroes.
Yeah, and when they don't have epicenter available, I mean, they have the AA ulti, but you don't want to take a fight like that when there's a good likelihood that WRG has a number of heroes in there. Maybe only seeing the 1 or 2 heroes with this order via I mean, the vision lanes are not great for them, so it could just be that they only saw 2 and expect there to be only 2 there and just try to take that fight.
Yep, Rush is still up, by the way, so I wouldn't be surprised if either one of these 2 teams actually decide to try and go for this rush. It will give Carbon a tremendous advantage. The Sanjay is actually picked up by the Sven, so Heaven's Halberd time, I think.
Definitely Heaven's Halberd time.
Especially up against the PL. PL hardly ever builds into a MKB. He might be forced to build into that, and I'm not quite sure he will want to. And if he does, it will only be after, let's say, his Manta, after his Diffusal, if he wants to go for a Diffusal. So with this up, they will have to burst down the Sven with magical damage, and if he does get a BKB up, that will make Sven nearly unkillable, but until that point.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Tinker will be looking for the sheep stick, and that's really the biggest worry for Carbon now. They actually see Doms. Do they get the kill on him? No, they don't. Dreamy just half a second too slow.
Dreamy, I think, might go down from this. He saw the Invis rune being picked up, and yet he still stayed. And the supports are coming in. Dreamy's still trying to man mode this. It's like Dreamy versus the world, dude. And the tombstones also dropped for this. This might be the time for Carbon to actually try and counter engage because there's no tombstone.
Yeah, Carbon, they don't really have anybody in the area. Smacker looks to be interested in taking a fight here, but I don't think anything's really going to happen. Lacro's just pushing out the top lane, so they'll move up there with WRG and just look to try and get...
Ancient Apparition ulti flying to top. Hold on that note. Ancient Apparition ulti isn't actually going to land. It does not land. The timing of the Phantom Launcher. The timing of the Phantom Launcher was just insane coming through there, and well, might just be LKR that is going to drop. Are they going to be able to get this pick? Unfortunately not.
Yeah, it's not the biggest. I mean, they lose the ulti on they lose the ulti on the Sand King, and other than that, I mean, it costs a lot of TPs to the top lane for WRG. And that's about that. So both teams just not really getting a whole lot out of that situation. Carbon probably just a little bit worse off since their cooldowns are now down.
But that doppelganger though, I mean, oh wait, no, actually they're going straight in onto Smacker right now. Smacker does have a Sanjay Yasha up, not a Heaven's Halberd that we thought. So Smacker, well, he's turning around right now. He wants to go in. Now it's LKR also coming in with a good stun, but unfortunately, this is just Carbon tilting right now.
Yeah, they're realizing that they're starting to lose control of the game, and they're trying to force it. And unfortunately, WRG is more than capable of taking these 5v5 chaotic clashes, because Castaway basically just drops the march and machines over the top of everything. So you're constantly taking damage. You can't really deal with the PL at this stage, and Carbon is slowly starting to feed kills the way of WRG, and could very well end up losing this game if they continue that.
To be honest, it's just they keep on... I mean, what is the difference between what they're doing now and what they were doing previously? Previously, they were grouping up as five, they were forcing it, 5-manning it the whole time, and just going for the kills. Now they're trying to move as 2 versus 5, this fight in the jungle. This fight right now here at the enemy Ancients. Just going in as 2 heroes the whole time versus 5, and WRG are just moving together. They know that if there's any type of engagement, they have to be there, and it's working for Carbon are doing what Energy did, basically what Energy did, and they're just trying to farm it out.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem for Carbon is that, like, they're slowly going to start falling off. Their heroes are not going to be able to tank the damage that the WRG will be doing throughout the whole fight. I mean, we already see Skywrath Mage. He's not really very, very tanky at all. Sand King, I mean, he's got 1,000 HP. It's really going to end up being Smacker, the only one left, and then WRG will be easily able to just kite around him and finish him off that way. So long as they can just, you know, avoid him during BKB duration, there's not a whole lot that Smacker can actually do to kill them.
Yeah, Diffusal Blade is up now on Phantom Lance of Dwarves. Will we see an engagement coming through here onto bottom lane? I heard an Epicenter. No, Epicenter's still fine. Sand King does have Blink and Force Star, so we might just see him blink and then Force straight in. But Castaway is just trying to delay this, and it's really working. But a full 5-man push, so Carbon actually listening to what we've been saying. Unfortunately, they would not have heard it, but going straight here, and I do like Castaway is covering this side of the trees as well. You know, he knows he has to try and cover the trees, otherwise we will see an engagement. And God Strength was now popped. There is a glyph being used as well.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'd
more
actually,
TP, so
I'd actually like Lucker to try and blink up here and then blink up there and see if he can, you know, get up behind WRG and see if he can play them that way.
why don't you think Sand King should have just come and blink from this area off?
I mean, the problem is he's a lot more visible over here. You know, if you come from an unexpected direction, it can really just make life very, very annoying for WRG.
Definitely. Well, there you go. The engagement is straight onto Spacker right now. Are we going to see any further engagement? The agent apparition ultimate actually flying through, but very, very, very far. Domes is shallow graved up. This is 3 heroes down for Carbon in exchange for 0, and that's it. This might be a full team wipe.
And so it begins. Because Carbon, that was probably their last shot at being able to take full 5-on-5 engages against WRG. And again, S on this Dazzle from game 1. I mean, perfect timings on the shallow grave. But the biggest issue here is that Castaway has now... He's starting to come online. They have no way of actually engaging past the March of the Machines. The creeps are dying too quickly, and the backup that Castaway does now have is finally arriving to help him out. So, Carbon...
Waiting a little bit too long. I mean, Carbon had the advantage. We were praising them, literally saying they're playing so well, they're keeping their pressure on, but then all of a sudden they stopped with any pressure. There's a tombstone being dropped right now. There's more TPs coming in. They might actually want to try and engage on this. Are they going to be able to get this? This is a big ultimate coming through from the ancient apparition, actually catching out on 2. They don't have any vision. Is this going to be just a sandstorm? No. No sandstorm, and they don't even get those kills.
No, they don't, as Dom's still left alive here, so none of those 2 kills, even though a heavy commitment from the side of Carbon. TPing in 3, they're going to try and fight up now. GB taking a bit of damage, but Doms realizes that he's a bit too close to the pain and will just retreat himself home.
Back to the point, I think Carbon, there was like a 10-minute dull period where they tried once and failed by sending 2 people top, and after they died there, everyone went back and farmed. They lost a little bit of their momentum there. I know they wanted more up on the Sven. They wanted more up on the Lina, but you know what? If you're winning every fight, you know, you're killing 4, you're only losing 1. Why go back and farm up? Why don't you just keep the aggression until you perhaps lose 1 team fight, and then you can go back. But a smoke coming through from WRG, and this is what I like. I mean, they've just won a big team fight. Have a look at the net worth quickly. Just have a look at that net worth graph.
Yeah, it's
14,000 down to 0. Literally 0. After a couple of very bad fights going the way of Carbon, a couple of very bad 1v1 fights, and it seems like this might just be another one. They're just getting caught out by themselves here. The mech is actually popped here by the Skywrath Mage, but it's not going to help. And they just keep on falling into the same thing. They want to try and farm up, split push out the lanes, and you can't split up versus a Tinker, versus a Blink's Tusk, and that's going to be Rosh going the way of WRG, playing tremendously well and actually getting the engagement. They are playing objective-based gaming, getting the kill pushing, getting the kill rush. WRG playing well.
Yeah, they're playing very, very well. I mean, it helps that we've taken some bad
Oh,
fights.
Sand King, epicenter into the rush pit with an ancient operation, ultimate flying through. The snowball dodge actually missed everything. Unfortunately though, Doms is still alive. Smack is coming in, he's trying to do what he can, but there's just no support coming through. There's another stun onto Santa and this is the Sand King. This is the triple kill for Smack. This is going to be quite big, but now they actually do manage to take him down, and it is going to be Castaway that is very, very, very close. And Doms is also going to get the kill. So it looked great. They just couldn't do anything. There was, I mean, oh, the Skyraz Mage getting that kill. So a 4-for-4 trade-off.
Yeah, that was a complete bloodbath, and WRG, I mean, that was pretty much perfect initiation for Carbon, and they still didn't come out ahead there. Basically breaking even over the fight, but WRG, Castaway getting away there, Castaway being able to just turn things around with the Marcher machines. Carbon must be pulling their hair out their inability to kill this Tinker, and it's killing them. I mean, they got nothing that they can do to catch him. They can't get even close to him at times, and when they do get close to him, the rest of the team comes flying up.
Brand new 10-second BKB is up on Sven, so this is what they needed to actually engage, but Rosh is still there, so who do you think? Will it be Carbon or will it actually be WRG going for that rush?
I think WRG will probably attempt it again. We can see the three of them making their way down there. They have the better likelihood of grabbing the Aegis. Unfortunately, nobody on the side of Carbon is really fantastic with it in hand. Sven is very much a transformation here with the God Strength, so if he goes down with it, and then, you know, it goes down with God Strength on spawns again, he's pretty much fighting without it, so it's not really the situation for the Sven right now.
And here they go straight into the rush pit. They actually do have a medallion, but, you know, like you said, the medallion doesn't really help out that much. And Carbon is giving it up this time. Of course, they do have epicenter, they do have everything they need. But they're just like, well, screw it, we're going to try and take a tier 2 top. They aren't even going to trade off the tier 2 top.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd love to get something out of this, but it doesn't appear as though they are. WRG probably will take the fight to the top lane next, and will definitely look to engage there on Carbon. I think Carbon might have just figured out what's going on, but, you know, it's too late now.
Definitely, and Dreamy is going to be a big... Well, Dreamy's dead. And we saw just how powerful this Tinker on this with the Scythe of Ice can be, and how quick he is now. If I'm not mistaken, I think the rearm is a little bit faster after this latest patch.
Yeah, I think it's. I know it's faster on level 3. I mean, it's faster by. I think it was 1 second. It was, if I remember correctly, 3. 1 point. It was 3.21.
3.21. Now
3 1.5 0.75. So 0.75. I mean that 0.25. It's not. I don't think too large generally, because Tinker is nowhere near with the rearm. So the translation from 3 to 2 though is a lot bigger. But 0 to 7.5 or 1 to 0.75 is not too major, I don't think, for a Tinker.
Now, well, let's have a look here at all the wards coming to you from the side of Carbon. There is top lane wards, deep jungle wards, ruin wards. They do actually scout out this invis. Quite surprised that Smacker hasn't actually gone to try and pick up that invis rune.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he really needs it. They don't actually have vision of it either. There's a great deal of vision in the enemy jungle for Carbon, but I'm pretty certain most of this will be timing out. Let me just check. No, it's actually fairly recent, so obviously a scouting mission. Carbon doing whatever they can.
LKR actually gets blinked upon. Castaway going straight onto him. That's a dead Sand King. With no buyback, there's a big AA ultimate flying through, but unfortunately that's not going to help at all. Dream is being sheeped up once again, and this is just full tilt from Carbon.
WRG now just realizing that they can take these fights to Carbon. Carbon can't really actually turn things around. Their counter initiation is great, but when you take out something like the Sand King, Carbon doesn't really have the ability to fight there. And just getting picked off piecemeal means that they steadily lose that ability. The only one who can actually man mode right now is the Sven, and they can really just kite Sven around or just bait him out for the moment and then take him once the BKB's off.
Well, Let's see here, the Lina is shadow bladed up. We still haven't seen this thread actually use the BKB and see how effective that is actually going to be. Lina, of course, still also needs a BKB, building towards it slowly but surely. They have to wait now for the Sand King. There is no glyph available, and this might just be the first racks to fall. Are they going to push for it? Or yes, they are actually going for this racks. Now the Sand King is back. Are we going to see an engagement? Here we go. There is a P-center up. No, they're just going to back off. No, they're not going to back off.
Yeah, there's no way they back off now.
Has just been dropped. Asian apparition ultimate flying through. Is it actually going to land onto anyone? No, it doesn't. Dreamy being caught out here on the sidelines. No idea what Dreamy was doing there. There's, at this point, nothing. Castaway actually gets shallow graved up. The epicenter is actually coming through. Castaway gets forced off away. Is he actually going to make it out alive? No, the Laguna Blade is actually used there. So Castaway is the first one to fall at this point. The next one is going to be the Dazzle. And, well, now they're turning around, wanting to go onto the PL at this point. The Aegis is dropped, and Saka did use his BKB. Are they going to be able to get any further kills from this? This was technically a 3-for-0 trade-off, but the Aegis being used, and Smacker actually wants to go onto Santo right now. Santo did use his Glimmer Cape. And, well, is he scouted out? No. Well, there you go. Santo, buddy, you're dead.
Yeah.
But they did lose 4 racks.
Yeah, I mean, they lost their axes, but losing 3 and the Aegis off the back of that, they won't be happy with that at all. I think Tinker was the one reason that Dreamy was hanging around over here. They did eventually get the kill on Tinker, which is a big win for them. You'll see probably that the net worth is going to start climbing up there. It was going heavily in WRG's favor, but that fight at the back, particularly getting the 2 cores of WRG, means that Carbon does get a slight advantage out of it in the end. I don't know how much of a help it's going to be, because you have now lost the racks and the timings are still stuffed. I mean, Sven is the only one who can really contest. Chidawi is going to be getting his next item very, very soon. He's actually got the Mantis. Probably going to be going for something along the lines of the Scardy now, which means he becomes a hell of a lot more difficult to kill off. And very, very soon, Carbon just won't be able to contest at all. Chidawi will just dominate the entire game. Tinker has, already just taken complete control, and once his mana is unstoppable, you'll just see a never-ending spam of Marshal the Machines.
Definitely, and well, I think if you are Carbon right now, you have to try and force it. All the ultis are off cooldown right now, so you have to try and at least force this fight, try and take it, because bottom lane, it is going to be WRG pushing out. And the problem here, though, is everyone from Carbon is just split up, and if one person gets picked off here, that's the problem. One person gets picked, they lose.
Yeah, they're very much the keystones of the entire strategy here for Carbon. I mean, apart from maybe Skywrath Mage, the rest of the team all needs to be able to fight together. If they're not together, then WRG just, they get one pick off and they just work from there.
Sven has a moonshot up, going all in right now, not saving, not having anything for buyback. So knowing that literally they have to try and take this next fight. If Sven dies, that's game.
Yeah, that very, very much is game. He's got the moonshot. He's actually attacking pretty ridiculously quickly at the moment, and he needs just more damage though. The problem is that without the crit, he's not very, very scary to WRG. He can certainly kill them off if he's given enough time, but the problem with the Sven is that he needs to kill them in the first 2-3 shots. He can't stand there, whacking at them for a good half a minute before they go down, and that's exactly what's happening right now. WRG are just able to survive the fights a long duration. Santo's able to stand there with the tombstone going off, healing people as well.
Hold on. They actually want to go onto Smacker right now. Oh, they were looking at that. They were really looking into it, bringing lots of people here mid. If they would have got that pick, wow, that literally would have been the end of the game.
Does Smacker have buyback? No, he does not. So yeah, that would have been a devastating death there if he'd gone down.
Smacker's still staying up here. They're baiting it out right now, waiting behind. This is a big bait. Are they actually, Ancient Apparition Ultimate is actually flying through. It is going to land onto 3 heroes. Are they going to be able to get anything from this? Nope. Tinker was about to TP in, but decided against it.
The timings are off there for Carbon, so that's actually what cost them in the end. Had they jumped immediately as the AA ult landed, or actually jumped before the AA ult landed, I think would have been a better fight for WRG, or for Carbon.
Buyback is up now for the Sven, so just like 2 minutes. He needed 2 minutes to farm 2,000 gold. There you go.
Yeah, the problem is it's just like, this is the problem with the PL. I mean, if you think about it, at the 19-minute mark, he had, I think, brown boots and a Vladimir's offering.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, he has a Manta style
Oop,
completed.
bottom lane. We do see an engagement there, going straight onto Chosen One. Chosen One does cast his Shadow Blade. Now they're backing off right now, and will there be a blink up for this task? Ancient Apparition, ultimate flank through. It is actually going to not land onto oh, sorry, there goes my mouse. Not going to land. That was extremely close. Nearly hit the Tinker. And top lane, Ancient Apparition does drop.
Castaway picks up another kill, adds to his collection, and we'll just constantly push out these lanes. So he's just going to do a good job pushing top here. It means that Carbon will be forced to defend there, and WRG will use that distraction to push out the mid lane.
Yeah, gold graph though is still sitting on basically 0 at this point, but I just feel that WRG can do more with the Tinker and with the items and the heroes they have. I really think Carbon need a lot more farm to be able to do anything, but are we going to see the full jump in? The full jump in is onto the Dazzle. This time they actually chose, and it's actually going to go in with an episode to the Ancient Apparition. Ultimate is going to fly through. It is going to hit on one, but once again, Jadawi actually just dropping it, and they're turning around. This is actually a very good fight going the way of, well, what is LKR doing? Free farming creeps, and here we do see a counter engagement coming in. It is onto Castaway. Are they going to be able to do anything? The punch is there onto Smacker. Smacker has used his BKB. They did manage to get the kill on Tinker. Now they're turning around, going onto the Undying. It's just one more hit needed. Chadawi is down as well.
Radiant's middle
And that was just a brilliant engage there from WRG. I mean, a brilliant engage from Carbon there. They knew exactly what they needed to do. Smacker timed his BKB perfectly there, and they were able to just force WRG back. But especially that Dazzle being removed from the fight was basically the thing that won them the fight. It meant that Carbon couldn't take a straight engage. The Phantom Lancer wasn't able to deal with Smacker's damage, and unfortunately, WRG just got caught. I mean, at 6s and 7s, Tinker wasn't really available. He's going to have to be careful, a little bit more careful about his positioning in future, because it did cost him pretty badly the fact that his team was not available to help him out there.
But did you see what Carbon did at the initial engagement? They killed off the Dazzle.
First thing they jumped to the
Left
Dazzle.
everyone alone. They killed off the Dazzle. They won the fight. And I understand you have to take care of some of the other heroes, but you know what? You try and take care of them, Dazzle just shallow gaze them up, and you will lose the fight every single time. Rosh is up in 2 seconds. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 1 second. Okay, a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it'll be back soon, and WRG does have vision of it though, so they know that he's up.
You as Carbon, do you contest this?
I mean, they have all their ultis available, so they could in theory. I just don't know if they do. If I was Carbon and I knew that it was happening, I would definitely make the play. The AR ulti will come in now, and Dawi will get spotted. So yeah, Carbon will definitely contest this. They have to. They can't afford to give WRG another.
Yeah. Well,
you know.
LKR is actually trying to get the kill on Dobbs. If they get this kill, this is big. Now they can take Rush. This is big for them, because that is one of the primary methods of engagement is that Tusk.
Yeah, it's also one of the primary methods of saving anybody from the Carbon initiation, since the snowball is just basically, I think it's at least 3 kills, or yeah, 3 kills that he saved up against Carbon, and particularly there was the one where he saved, I think it was the Tinker in the previous Rush fight against Carbon.
Well, this time it is going to be Carbon going in on this rush. They do ping out the Tinker, try to keep it away. Tinker's just going to go top and try and do as much damage as possible. It's taking a while to take down this rush. The God Strength was used. Who's going to be taking this though? I think it is going to be Chosen One or
Chosen.
Sven.
You don't give it to Smacker. Smacker giving the Aegis to a transformation hero like Smacker is worse than useless. It's giving the Aegis to Smacker would be the equivalent to giving the Aegis to the Lycan. It's just as soon as he died.
Blink.
Yeah.
But unless you blink in without using anything, they throw everything on you. Then when you come back, then you have God Strength, BKB, everything else. Not a bad option, but I do agree, giving it to something like the Lina that can just constantly put out the fiery soul damage constantly, I mean, she will come back with a Dragon Slave and a stun. I agree, giving it to the Lina is the best option there.
You see, the problem is if Smacker goes down, it's what? I think it's 5 seconds on the reincarnation. Yeah, it reappears 5 seconds later. So, in those 5 seconds, do you believe Carbon has the ability to man fight WRG without Smacker?
Not at all.
Exactly. So, Smacker is basically a one. Smacker is basically
I'm trying to be an optimist here.
The problem is that Smacker is like. How can I put it? He's like the linchpin. If he gets taken out, the whole of Carbon collapses. So whether he's down for 5 seconds in a fight or he's down for the entirety of the fight, no Smacker means Carbon doesn't win the fight. Simple as that.
Oh, you as Carbon right now, do you push down mid or do you try and counter push on top?
Counter pushing top is really not going to help you. You want to get a counter rack so that your WRG has the same problem as you, that they have to protect one lane. The issue is that going high ground for Carbon is a hell of a lot more difficult for... the issue is for Carbon going high ground is a lot more difficult than it is for WRG. So WRG can literally just sit here and spam the March of the Machines all day, which means that the only way to get high ground is for Sven to pop the BKB and then walk in there, and that is cutting into, critical BKB timings. He's held it very well. He's only on 8 seconds, so he can still make something happen with it. But if he gets caught out, he goes down, and then that's Carbon's ability to win the fight gone.
And top lane's busy pushing out. This is the problem. You can't actually try and go for racks without pushing out top. Because the backdoor, even the base race, will be there. I mean, you have to try and push out the top wave. They just went like that, which wasn't a lot, but unfortunately, just that little bit of the super creeps coming down the top lane will just push it out. Now, if they try to go for a base race here, if 3 heroes are down from the side of G, Tinker will actually just TP straight in, and there might even be boots of travel up, being bought by the Phantom Lord to go in for a base race. And I think Carbon has a base race, but you don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, WRG, if Caster is the only one alive, then WRG will not win the base race. The thing about a Tinker is that he's amazing at split pushing, but he's really, really bad at actually base racing, because base racing, you got no creeps to help you out. He's going to have to basically sit over here and try to clear out the creep waves, so that can do a little bit of damage, but his individual right clicks are not going to help him out greatly. So if he maybe builds, he used to be better, but the problem for Castaway is that he's also building into a method of play that isn't going to help him out a lot. He's going for the Earth Blade rather than the Necro books. I think had he picked up the Necros, it would have been a lot better.
Quite a long time ago, the change on the Tinker was made so that your March of the Machines actually doesn't damage towers. Before that, it just used to be broken. Because then you'll just stand below and just march up the whole time with you standing here, your entire team standing behind you, and just win games.
Yeah, well, I mean, who remembers the nerf bat that they took to the Tinker's head after TI4? Do you remember that? When it's like, okay, he can't farm Ancients anymore, he can't do this anymore, he can't do that anymore, let's nerf his most favorite items, let's make this more expensive, make that more expensive. It was just like, okay, you hit Tinker with like 7 individual nerfs, and he just did not see play for about 6-7 months after that. So it was, a lot of people felt it was an over nerf, but I mean, Tinker's showing here that, I mean, imagine what kind of start he would have had he been able to actually farm the Ancients. It's terrifying what he is capable of when he gets the farm.
Well, we do see here the Sven TPing up on the top lane. I mean, they have to try and do something now with this Aegis, otherwise they're just going to run into the same issues over and over again. We do see the Skywrath Mage is running slowly top. Might actually be picked off by Castaway. Nope. And top lane, I mean, they have to push here. There's a double damage rune on the Sven. And no, there is a glyph, but of course the glyph will be used for base.
Yeah, he's going to get the tower as Smacker, and they're going to look to make something happen here. But once again, March the Machines just prevents anything from continuing.
Oh, there's the Aegis gone, so no objective being taken. Well, the tier 2 towers, you can't call it that. No big objectives being taken with Lina, and
at 50 minutes though, an Aegis is not worth 2 tier 2 towers, not at all. You want Raxes off the back of that, or a 5, like a 4 or 5 per team wipe. and that's just not happening right now. Castaway is basically just given complete license to push creeps.
Well, guys, the winner bracket final will be actually held in around 25 minutes, so this game should be done. But of course, the winning team here will be moving through to the winner bracket final, and they won't actually have a lot of time to rest and prepare themselves before their next best out of 5 game is up.
Yeah, they need to make certain that they don't drag this on too long, because these kind of games can be draining. BVD Emo, they're going to be coming in fresh, and I mean, we saw what happened when they came in fresh yesterday against Carbon. Carbon just had no idea what was going their way. So the last time WRG also played Emo, it was a 2-0 victory to the boys from Bravado. So WRG doesn't have the best history against them either, and I mean, I think if Emo's watching this, they're sitting there going, oh, we don't mind, you know, just drain a little bit more energy from either of these teams, because anyone coming out of this game will they'll be mentally tired rather than anything else.
And Chosen One might actually scout out the Tinker. This might be a problem. Does she have a blink up? No, she doesn't. She's just running away. Quite a lot of people coming in trying to kill off. That might have been a big goal, but Tinker does have, well, actually didn't have enough for buyback, but it would have been very close.
Yeah, it would have been very, very close there. And I mean, that would have been a massive pick-off for the side of Carbon, and they could very well have immediately gone high ground and try to take the fight there, because again, without the Tinker, WRG, they don't actually have fantastic high ground defense, and Carbon can get through it. It's just the marches are just really extraordinary.
Dreamy is dead here. There's a smoke rotation coming through with a lot of people. The pings are coming out, and well, Dreamy's actually, he's okay. He hasn't been scouted just yet. He's starting to TP out. He will actually make it out of this one alive.
Yeah, very, very good juke into the trees there, as WRG expends quite a bit of time and effort with a smoke on top of it to get something done. I mean, it doesn't cost them a whole lot, since it was just going to be a Skyreth mage anyway, and I mean, they're not going to be all that concerned about giving that away.
Carbon has managed to climb back to around 10,000 net worth lead after the big drop that they had previously, and experience is sitting around 20,000 in favor of Carbon, but at around 53 minutes, you don't really care about, I mean, that experience doesn't really mean that much.
No, it doesn't really mean much at all. So Smacker is going to start farming some creeps. He's got himself the Satanic, that'll be flying out very, very soon on the Courier. And then I think Smacker will be ready to go in the next fight.
Yeah, well, there's a Lincoln's up here on the Sand King, so we might actually see Sand King going in with a full Glimmer Cape, trying to go in for that epicenter to draw out that sheep, you know, to surprise draw out that sheep. That happen, we might be able to get that quick pop. A lot of lines being drawn. I mean, Phantom Launcher
plays doodling,
sitting with Phantom Launcher sitting with a full heart up, level 2 Diffusal Blade, Manta style, but a full 5-man rotation coming through now from WRG. I think they want to try and force a fight somewhere.
Yeah,
check Rosh.
Oh, that is critical. That is going to be critical. If either team spots this out, it is going to be huge. The big man does spawn. He's going to walk out of the pit. Now, who has vision over here? It is only actually WRG will see him walking out of the pit. Oh, please tell me that the AA Blast saw that.
Yeah, and now they're actually going straight here onto the Sand King right now. Sand King, they're literally blowing everything up, and here comes Smacker! He's doing so much damage! He's killed off the Tinker, he's killed off the Dazzle! Now they're going in, he's just smacking! He's going crazy! This is huge if they do manage to get this kill, but is there a silence? No, it's just going to be a doppel walk down. Oh wait, no, actually there's just Smacker blinking straight in, and he's going to go probably into Rosh.
Yeah, he's definitely going into Rosh.
The amount of damage!
Yeah, Sven just might very well have put his team back in a position where they can win this game. WRG getting caught out there was huge, and they realized that they cannot afford to give away this Aegis. They're going to try and TP in here and contest with Smacker now. There's no Sand King available. I don't think he has buyback. He does not have buyback. So WRG, well, those 2 buybacks might have just saved the rush. Do they try and take it themselves, though? That is the thing. They know Smacker's ulti is down for a little while, so they're going to try and get something done, yeah.
Well, I think they're just going to try and hang off. I think, well, Lina does have Boots of Travel up. Is she going to actually buy a second level up in Boots of Travel and then come in? But there you go. Phantom Lancer is actually going straight in. Ancient Apparition Ultimate is flying through. Does land onto the Phantom Lancer, but they won't be able to really do anything
Smacker's
about
ulti's
that.
up in
Is
6.
it going to be a level 2 boot? Sorry?
Smacker's ulti's up in 6. If that thing goes on, he's jumping. He's definitely jumping here onto Jadawi.
And LKR is also trying to come in right now. There's a lot of movements coming in. Let's have a look here. It is going to be Smacker. Well, where is he actually going to go straight on? Who are they going to try and focus on? Have been used. Smacker doesn't have his BKB up just yet. Is there anything? I just heard a wicked sick. Now they're actually trying to turn around. This fight is a little bit split up, but they're still trying to go for the rush. Chidawi actually does manage to dodge the stun, and there's more people dying in the background. I'm just focusing here on the rush. The BKB's up here on the Lina, and they will not be able to stun Chidawi, but that is Chidawi dropping, and unfortunately that just means rush is going their way. There's a big creep wave pushing in, but I think they might just need to send back one of the supports and push into the top lane. Phantom Lancer does not have buyback. Phantom Lancer doesn't have buyback.
Yeah, they expanded that, and I mean, Castaway, again, he went for the Ethereal Blade, so he doesn't have those, the Necro Creeps to try and, get any kind of push going. Scant will hang around in the base, just throw out those hell of a long-range ultis, and Smacker taking a bit of damage here, but he doesn't really mind all that much. He's going to sit here and just nail the rockets all day long. Out comes the AA ult. It's not going to land on Santo, though. Santo will get silenced up by the Skywrath Mage and the... Where the hell is the Tombstone? Okay, there it goes down. Chosen One making certain that he gets it, and he's going to try and focus on to Castaway. Yeah, Castaway gets caught out. This is the end of the game. He's going to go down. The ulti should be coming through very, very soon, but Smacker just murdering people left and right. Doms is the one who actually gets graved up in the end, but that is not the hero that you needed to do, unfortunately. S getting a minor misclick, and we'll be eating a death here. LKR is going to get the stun off. We'll finish off the Dazzle, and Doms and Santo are going to try and do what they can up against the Sand King, but he's fine for the moment. Glimmers himself to safety, and they are losing their first lane of Raxia. Both of the cores down for a while.
is back in 20 seconds. BL is back in 20 seconds. There is still a slight glimmer of hope here for the side of WRG of White Rabbit Gaming, but Smack is just saying, no, screw that. We're just going straight in for tier 4s. Chosen One have his Aegis of the Immortal up right now. They're going here. There's absolutely no glyph. The Aegis does get popped, and Smacker's just saying, screw that. We're going. I'm going for base. Are they going to be able to do anything about this? No, unfortunately not. Here comes PL. Task is actually the next one to drop. Are they going to be able to do? Here's PL. He's coming in. Chidawi's trying to man mode up against Smacker. Smacker's trying to go up against him. The GGs have been called, and that is a game. What an insane game coming through here.
Yeah, that was just crazy. I mean, I was basically thinking, yeah, it's too late. WRG just has too much to do. But Carbon knowing exactly when to take their fights, jumping in there on that Rosh pit was pretty much the game breaker. But that fight beforehand, WRG looking to be the one initiating, taking them so long to kill off the Sand King and allowing Carbon to reinitiate, taking the back of that fight, and just like that, Carbon could do no wrong, and White Rabbit Gaming unfortunately will drop in 3rd place in the tournament. But I mean, you got to give them props. They came so close to winning this game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, insane games. Carbon winning 2-1. White Rabbit Gaming showing, guys, listen, we're a team of a few months old, but we are definitely in this race. And congratulations to them. I mean, what a honestly insane plays. Congratulations to Carbon. I didn't think that they would have been able to bring this game back after a while, but they did. And I don't know if Prophecy will be joining me for the finals. Otherwise, I might have to solo cast the finals here, guys. So I will be seeing you guys at least in around 15 to 20 minutes. Prof, any final words from your side?
Carbon Dota. Let's hope they can keep going in this manner up to BVD Emo, because the beasts await, and I don't really know if Carbon is in the best shape going into this game. But winning like this, that puts just so much energy into your performances. So I'm really hoping and praying that Carbon brings it, and I'll be supporting them fully in the finals today if I can't make it.
Cool, guys. So on that note, thanks a lot. Gigabyte, $2,000 up in cold hard cash. Really appreciate it. Dota 2 Lounge for listing the games. And of course to NAV TV for hosting this tournament here in South Africa. And on that note, I'm Reddit. Joining me was Prophecy. Thanks so much for joining, dude. And we'll see you guys. Well, I'll at least see you guys in around 15 or so minutes. We might just be a little bit delayed. I think the players just need to have a 15-20 minute break. But we'll see you guys in roughly around 20 minutes. Cheers.
Right, cheers. Bye bye.